All right, I think we're on. Is everyone able to hear me? Everyone able to hear me? Because we are officially on. This feels surreal. This feels surreal. Welcome everybody to the stream. This is Jaguar Gator 9 here. We have done it. We have done it. We are officially full time now, which is absolutely surreal to think about. Never thought I'd get to this point when I started here, and here we are. Here we are. So, thank you guys for tuning in. I'm going to answer all your questions. Going to get to them in the order that I see them. Thank you guys for tuning in. It's funny. I actually wanted to do this as soon as I saw Tom Grossi about a year and a half ago when he announced the full time move. I remember that I was on that stream. I was like, you know what? I want to do that. If I ever get to this point, I want to do that. And sure enough, I'm doing it the same day that he hits 400,000 subs. So, a bit of weird timing there, but we are good to go. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. All right, let's start. What is the worst Jaguars item you own or have ever seen on the internet? In terms of own, take your pick. Take your pick. I own a lot of Jags merchandise. A lot of. I pretty much given up on buying any jerseys of current players. Pretty much given up on that because I have a Luke Jokel jersey. And that's probably the worst. I have a Blaine Gabbert jersey. I have quite a few bad jersey purchases. I guess the worst one I own. My friends once gave me as a joke, they gave me a Gus Bradley photo, and they gave me a knockoff Leonard Fournette like Gold Rush jersey, but it's very clearly a knockoff from overseas. That was pretty funny. That's pretty bad. But in terms of like I actually own Luke Jokel jersey by far. Thoughts on Bowl Mania this year? Don't know what to think because I don't know who's opting out, who's not opting out. But bowl game of the year, I'm excited for Iowa, Kentucky just because of how inept both offenses are going to be. In terms of like actually a good game, two teams peaking at the right time, Notre Dame, South Carolina, and the Gator Bowl, that should be a really, really fun one. The endings of the Bahama Bowl, Isaac Hobbs, the endings of the Bahama Bowl was something else that I was watching the Super Bowl for a second, Super Bowl 34 for a second. Yeah, stopped at the 1 yard line. Stopped at the one. I think you got to go ends in there. Miami's had some questionable coaching this season. I want to do a dumb decisions, but I might do that in the offseason. There was a game they had a month ago. I think it was against Ohio. I can't remember, but I think it was against Ohio, where they had some awful clock management at the end of the first half. You got to go end zone there. You got to go to the end zone. At least Super Bowl 34 was a slant route. This where you assume that barring a crazy good tackle like what happened at the end of that game, he's going to reach the end zone. This was not that. Who do you think gets into the Pro Football Hall of Fame? Thank you, Sam, for tuning in. All right, let's see the finalists. All right, so Joe Thomas, first ballot. Darrelle Revis, first ballot. Those are pretty obvious. I know DeMarcus Ware waited last year. I was a bit surprised by that. I think he'll get in. Jared Allen will get in. And I think you're going to get one of the receivers in. If I had to bet on who it would be, my money would be let's think. I mean, I could go Ronnie Barber. I know not receiver, but I think one of the receivers has to get in this year. Reggie Wayne. Let's go Reggie Wayne. So I'll go Reggie Wayne. Let's go Joe Thomas. Let's go Darrelle Revis. Let's go with Jared Allen, and let's go DeMarcus Ware. Those are my five. Those are the five that I think get in. I was hoping UTSA could win their first. Lost my place in the. So, thank you for the $2, Jacob. LW 24 from the Twitch Gold. Thank you so much for the $2. Thank you. It means a lot to me. Thank you so much. I was hoping UTSA could win their first ever bowl game, but they kept dropping passes. The one at the end was brutal. That fourth down play hit him right in the hands. I really thought that game was going to be a lot better than it actually ended up being. Got two of the best mid-majors. I had UTSA winning that game, but drop passes, yeah, you're right, killed them. The Niners look pretty good. I'll see myself out. I think I made that joke in one of my videos too. I think it's in the doubleheader video. I talked about something with Purdy. So I can't blame you. Slow hanging fruit, but I'll take it. Congrats on the transition. You actually put in the work, which is rare on the tube these days. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I can't imagine. It's a lot of work, but it doesn't really feel like work. There are obviously some elements that are tough, like the copyright system can be sometimes frustrating when you have to keep uploading a video because it doesn't get past the filter, or filing against false claims or whatnot. But building the community and being able to talk football for a living and interacting with all you guys, I mean, it's awesome. It doesn't feel like work. I'm working like crazy. I have not been getting a whole lot of sleep, and I still will not be getting a whole lot of sleep, even though I'm going full time. It just means my sleep schedule will be a bit more normal because I don't have to wake up for law school. But thank you so much. Grossi 400K stream and a JG9 YouTube stream is an epic combination. It sure is. I would have been watching that stream if I didn't have this, because Grossi is amazing. He's one of the inspirations for this. Again, he was the reason I wanted to do this live stream once I was able to reach my full-time status. So love Tom Grossi. We were on Packcast together September 2016. It was audio only at the time. I was just on Reddit at the time. I was a sophomore in college, and Grossi just reached out to me on Reddit and was like, I have this little audio podcast thing. I'm a Packers fan. I'm looking for a Jaguars fan. And everyone on Reddit says you're the guy. So do you want to do it? I'm like, yeah, sure. Why not? I got nothing else to do. I had no idea who he was. He was just starting off. He was only on SoundCloud. He was not anyone by that point. And I was just on Reddit. And now look at where we are now. Grossi is one of the biggest names on YouTube, and I am officially full-time. It's all because of you guys. But Tom Grossi is amazing. Love that guy. Great videos. Thank you so much. Love all the old football. Yeah, I really am, like, some of the best comments I get are when people are talking about how, oh, this reminds me of something that happened in my childhood, or this was a game I remember watching. I love those comments. I love those comments. Oh, we have a 396 from Crazy J. Thank you so much for that in honor of 39.6. What happened to Lil Miss Spike the Ball? It's still there. It's still there. Let me I can pull it up. Because it's still on the shop. I don't delete anything from the shop. But I can put it in here if you do want. But thank you so much. Again, I've never done a stream before on YouTube, so I cannot see the I'm going just in the order that I see the comments. For whatever reason, I can't see any. Oh, here we go. And now it's popping up when I see donations. $8.99 from Lim. Thank you so much. Wow. Congratulations, buddy. Have a Merry Christmas and New Year. All the best for my future, and go Jags. The part where they play my Patriots, you go. Thank you so much. Really, really means a lot to me. Really means a lot. I don't think you have to worry about them playing the Patriots this year, but I don't think we play next year either. No, because we play the AFC West. So we should be good. We should be good. So good luck until, 2024? Good luck until then. Let's see. Face reveal. Yeah, I've shown my face before. It's not really a reveal at this point. The only reason I haven't revealed it before is nothing to do with me wanting to be private. I don't care about that at all. It's just the equipment that I have. It's just my webcam right now on my laptop. I don't have the fancy setup or anything like that. If I tried to do this with all the overlays on Twitch, my computer would probably crash. It would probably crash. You guys have seen it anytime someone follows me on Twitch. If you've been on JG9 Live, you've been on the Twitch streams, anytime someone follows, the stream freezes for a bit. So adding facecam into that would probably break it. So once I get, I'm going to build a studio sometime this off season, and we'll be good to go there. So that's really the only reason why. But my face is on Twitter, JG9 NFL. I've been on streams with Urinating Tree and Grossi and 5 Point Vids, all phenomenal guys. I've shown my face on those. So the best game I ever called, easy for me. Best game I ever called was a men's soccer game. It was my junior year of college. And remember that in college soccer, it's a bit different. In college soccer, the clock counts down. Oh, thank you for the $3, M. Sarzo. Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be a JG9 hype guy. Thank you so much for that. Really means a lot to me. Best game I ever called, junior year of college. College soccer, the rules are different. So in college soccer, there is no stoppage time. The clock just counts down from 45 to 0. And once the clock hits 0, that's it. And the school I was at, High Point University, they had to beat Presbyterian in order to win the conference regular season title, get the number 1 seed. They scored with 1 second left. It was 0-0. And the guy, the striker who was really, really good his first year here, but he hadn't scored a goal all season. I think he had 10 goals his first year. Siggy Ben Onison, Icelandic striker, really, really good player, but didn't have any goals so far this season. Scored the game-winning goal with literally 1 second left to win 1-0. And that was insane. That was insane because I called a lot of events for my school, but men's soccer was the one that I called literally every single game. I was always on the call for those. That was awesome. That was awesome. Waluigi with a $5. Thank you so much. This challenge is a lot better than if you did nothing but spike the ball into the ground on every single play. Congrats. Thank you so much. Really, really, really means a lot. All right, let's see. Comments are flying here. I'm gonna go through as many as I possibly can. I'm gonna stay on as long as possible. I got nothing going on. I've already planned out what video is coming out tomorrow, so we should be good there. If the Jags win the AFC South, how many primetime games will they get in 2023? I think two. I think the reason for that is because I think people like Trevor Lawrence. They like watching him play, and this feels more sustainable than 2017. 2017, I feel like networks were very hesitant afterwards, and I don't blame them, obviously, for what happened afterwards. 2017, it's like, okay, we don't trust Blake Bortles. This is a team that hadn't been good for a really long time. Defense was historically good. They'll probably crash back down to earth. We don't trust you yet. You don't have any big market superstars. Now we have one. Now Trevor Lawrence is a big market name that most NFL fans know, most NFL fans have heard of, and people want to see him play. So I think we would get two. I think it'd be a Thursday night game and a Monday night game. I have a Jags helmet. Yes, I have many, many Jaguars helmets at my place. This is not my regular location. This is my parents' place. I'm there for the holidays right now. The video that I filmed at my actual place. That again, I'm going to move into a different place sometime in the next few months. Same building, but just a different room to get another bedroom and convert that into a studio. This is a temporary location. So, but yeah, I do have a lot of Jaguars helmets in my place. Hey man, CRB coming from Jacksonville, Florida. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for tuning in. I stumbled across some of your singing videos yesterday. I didn't know you were that good of a singer. You were a man of many talents. Yeah, so I am oh, thank you for the $2, Tommy D. Thank you so much. So yeah, I really, really like singing. I always joke that if I couldn't do this, like I would love to just be a pop star. Just that would be hysterical. That'd be awesome. But I really like singing. I'm a beast of karaoke. So yeah. I love the football history stuff. Thank you so much, Nathaniel. The NFL has to do something about the BS roughing the passer calls. I agree. I'm totally fine with protecting the quarterback, but I think the whole weight of the body, I think that is way too subjective because what happened yesterday with Boza, what happened on Sunday night with Jalen Phillips, that's not what this was designed to do. I know what it was designed to do. It was designed to prevent anything from what happened with Aaron Rodgers a few years ago, but that's not in the spirit of this at all. I don't know what these offenders are supposed to do. I don't know what they're supposed to do. So they have to change that. $5 from Eggonator. Thank you so much. Ever thought about making a dumb decisions about the fake field goal the Seahawks did on Monday Night Football in the end of the first half against the Falcons in 2017? I have a lot of dumb decisions, historical videos in the works. I'll put it that way. So it used to be that dumb decisions just looked at historical stuff. And then I kind of expanded that as an avenue to talk about what happened in the NFL this season. So we are going to have a lot of historical stuff in the offseason for dumb decisions. I teased one in my earlier videos, Buccaneers 49ers 1978. They ran a reverse play on 4th and 15. I've got a lot more crazy dumb decisions that coaches have made in the past, including what I kid you not is the worst punt I've ever seen in my life. The most cowardly not fake punt, the most cowardly punt attempt I've ever seen. $20. Holy cow. Michael Hodel official. Thank you so much for the $20. No comment attached to it, but thank you so much. Really, really means a lot to me. Thank you so much. So yeah, we have a lot of dumb decisions in the works. Did you give the first super chat in JG9 history? I think someone gave a super chat when I did the Red Zone stream, but in terms of like actual streams like this, yes, this was the very first super chat. $5 from Better Nathan Lever. Thank you so much. Love that name. Bit of a tongue twister, but thank you. Huge fan from Kansas City. Your commentary is always both accurate and unbiased, and your knowledgeable film is impressive from a fellow nerd. Thank you so much. Really, really means a lot to me. Really, really means a lot. I like to think I'm unbiased. I think when the Jaguars play, you can kind of see my bias when I do my dumb decisions, anything involving the Jaguars. The Urban Meyer dumb decisions video, you could tell the frustration there. $10 from C2 Man. Thank you so much. Least I could do. Thank you for making my morning so awesome with your daily videos. Really, really means a lot. I see you commenting in every single video. JG9 historian. Thank you so much. Really, really, really means a lot. it's tough for me to get to all the comments in the videos, but I truly appreciate every single comment. I read every single comment. So thank you so much. It always makes my day when you comment on the videos and I see, oh wow, you remember this video that I don't even remember doing 2 years ago. Probably because I was half asleep when I did it because I was doing the whole law school thing. $10 from Burnsy116. Thank you so much. I love your channels and videos. Keep on being awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. This is crazy. This stream is going phenomenal so far. Thank you guys so much. Let's see. I'm trying to see where we are in the chat. Okay, here we go. How do you come up with the signature tagline, I'm sorry, what? I don't know, honestly. I actually don't know how I came up with that tagline. $5 from Matthew Connor. Take it easy on the Commodores in future JG8 videos. We don't know what we're doing at Dudley Field. Thank you so much for the $5. Thank you so much for the love. I mean, I did predict, I did say Vanderbilt was going to be better than expected this year. I did say it. No, they did not make a bowl game, but I did have them higher than most people did after they beat Hawaii. A lot of people call me crazy, but I did have them higher. And unfortunately, they beat Florida. Unfortunately, I kind of wanted that one back, but I don't know. Vanderbilt's going in the right direction. $5 from Jose Renteria. Thank you so much. Ran across you with your Mel Renfro video and have been a fan since. Stay awesome. Thank you. When did I make that? That was, what, April 2020? That was a while ago when they spent 6 hours making a draft pick. That was a really, really long time ago. Back when the videos were like 3 or 4 minutes. Crazy story how that one came to be. Crazy story. But look, you're going to take 6 hours on a pick, make it a future Hall of Famer. But I don't know how I came up with I'm sorry what. I think it just came to me. I actually have all my scripts saved in one single document. So I'm going to go back and look at the very first time I said that. So bear with me for 1 second. I'm going to read through the comments. I'm 1-1 in Bowl Mania already. I'm 0-2. My pick did not save for whatever reason for the UAB game. I had UAB. My pick didn't save, so it just turned up as blank, and I had UTSA beating Troy today. So yeah, bit of a rough one. So far. Let's see. When was the first time I said I'm sorry what? All right, this was... Okay, it was a video from... It was a Frank Ans video. Okay, so Frank Ans did something stupid. That's not surprising. He was a horrible head coach. Absolutely horrible head coach. He did something stupid regarding quarterback move, and I just lashed out at that, and it just stuck with me since. So I guess that's how it came to be. And hello to everyone that's saying hello in the chat. Everyone saying hello. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for tuning in. 2 bowl games down, 40 to go. Cannot wait. I always love when people complain about bowls. It's like, okay, the alternative is not having football. Like, it's not like we're taking anything away. $20 from Samsbro 1952. Thank you so much. You're the best, and I admire you for following your heart and dreams, and I still think you'd be a great announcer. Thank you so much. I would love to do some announcing stuff, just not necessarily for a company, but when I do the Monday Night Football streams next year, because that's what I'm going to do in 2023, I'm going to do some Monday Night Football streams. I definitely want to try out some announcing stuff. I want to try out some alternate broadcast kind of stuff. So thank you so much for tuning in. And if the opportunity ever came up for me to call games for my old school, I would jump on that in a heartbeat. $6.93 for Crazy J. Thank you so much. Congrats from an attorney who just vegetated where I was not studying in law school. Plan on doing a dead guy CFL team drafted in the 90s. Thank you so much. I've heard of that story. I've thought about doing a video on stuff like CFL, XFL. I've thought about doing some one-offs on stuff like that. So we'll see. Probably not anytime in the near future, but eventually the goal is for me to have channels for pretty much every single sport in every single league and expand this even further. So nothing changes with JG9, but obviously JG8 is college football. I'm starting a baseball channel in 2023. So the goal is to eventually do this for every single sport and kind of capture the historical market for everything. So I definitely want to do something like that if I get to the CFL at some point, or just an alternative league football channel like XFL, USFL, all that. Speaking of Super Bowl 34, does Jeff Fisher go for 2 if Tyson doesn't get tackled? I don't think so. Remember, Jeff Fisher was the same guy that didn't go for 2 during the Music City Miracle, even though it made complete sense to, because it was 22-16, why wouldn't you, or it was 21-16, why wouldn't you go for 2? Make it a 7-point game. Made no sense. $10 from Thomas Hernandez. Thank you so much. Congrats, my friend. Your videos have actually gotten my little brother into football, just for telling the stories that most people likely wouldn't know about unless they looked into that specific game. Thank you so much. That is awesome. I know that people love my videos. I failed to recognize how many people have actually gotten into football from watching my videos. Just carrying on the history of the game and the craziness of it really, really means a lot to me. Thank you so much. How did you get so well versed in the cultural references you do in so many of your videos? I love that you can integrate music and TV references. Thank you. How did I become so well versed? I'm not sure because I don't really watch a whole lot of TV shows. Music is easy. Music, I listen to music all the time. 70s, 80s, 90s. Basically, my weekends when I'm editing, I have a Sirius XM subscription. So I will do the VJ Big 40 countdown on 80s, and I'll do the Casey Kasem countdown from the 70s. They have an iHeart radio station that just does old countdown. So I listen to a lot of stuff there. Back in the day, Replay Countdown, Pop 2K Countdown. So I'm very well versed in all music from the last 50 or so years. So coming up with those references is pretty easy. TV shows, it's mainly, most of it's just SpongeBob. Most of it's just SpongeBob because if you were growing up in my generation, you watched SpongeBob. SpongeBob references are just a part of your culture at that point. $5 from Alex. That's Vatsanos? Vratsanos? I hope I'm saying that right. Thank you so much. Even though I really liked Doug Peterson when he was with my Eagles, you would be a much better coach for the Jaguars. Thank you so much. I don't know about that. Look, I like Doug Peterson. I know I rag on him a lot. I like Doug Peterson in terms of he gets the guys ready to play. The players love playing for him. The offense is so innovative. Trevor has made the jump. He just does one really stupid thing a game that makes me infuriated. He just does one really dumb thing a game that he has no idea what he's doing. Like last week against Tennessee. You go up 21-13. It was 21-13 at the end of the first half. And you're going to squib kick it. Just boot it out of the end zone. The Titans are going to take a knee. Titans get the ball to the 25-yard line. Take a knee or trust your kickoff team. But don't squib it. Don't give them the ball near midfield so they can try a field goal attempt. We saw that against Baltimore 2 weeks ago. It's like you never learned. So I like Doug Peterson, but his situational awareness sometimes is lacking. Is very, very lacking. The Jacksonville Jaguars will beat the Cowboys. Look, I'm optimistic about the Jaguars for the first time in a while. I have not felt this way in a really long time. I don't think we're beating Dallas, though. I don't think we're beating Dallas. We still have not won an NFC game since 2018, week 1 against the Giants. It's been a while. It's been a very, very long time. And the Cowboys are a very good team. So I'm more worried on Sunday about the Chargers-Titans game. I know the Titans have a lot of guys out. But really, if the Titans lose to the Chargers, we're playing with house money on Sunday. Because I don't think we win that game. It's if the Titans beat the Chargers that it's looking very bad. Michael Piz with the $5. Thank you so much. Allentown, PA here. Let's do karaoke together sometime. Yeah, it'd be a commute for me, but who cares? I'll buy you a drink. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's a bit of a commute from Allentown. Where they're closing all the factories down. It's a bit of a commute there, but look, Billy Joel. I'm from New York. Billy Joel. That one. If you want to know music, integrate that. Yeah, that's an easy one for me. That's a Billy Joel fan. Yeah, bit of a commute from Allentown to Phoenix, but I don't drink. But thank you so much. Thank you so much. Congrats on dumb decisions where you know immediately and not in hindsight it was a bad idea or whatever JG9 says. I think I have the template for what I say now memorized at this point. I would hope I do. I did like 65 dumb decisions videos in my life. I hope I have that part memorized. Congrats on your graduation and going full-time. Derek Wilson, thank you so much. Will we see a JG8 video about Tennessee's Derek Broda someday? The soccer player who was called up from the Gray House to play kicker. We might. JG8, a lot of the videos are more team-specific just because it's a lot tougher to find the footage versus the NFL where I can really do player-specific. It's a lot harder for college, but we might see that. I have a lot of videos in the works for JG8. A lot of stuff I want to get to, and I'm in talks right now with someone who wants to edit the videos, so that will help tremendously with my workload because I can just write the scripts, record the audio, and just send it over to them. and that cuts down so much time, which means I can make more content, which would be awesome. So much better than Twitch. See, I like this. I really like doing these YouTube streams. I really do like doing this. I like being able to show my face, interact with you guys. It's really the overlays. I need to find a more advanced system for the overlays, because right now it's just my webcam. And the other thing is that Twitch doesn't have the interactive feature with game shows. Like, I would love to do JG9 live on YouTube. I feel like it's way easier to access. Like, right now we have over 100 people in the stream, which is incredible. We've never had anywhere close to that for a Twitch stream, just because it's another step to get to. But the problem is that YouTube doesn't have a quiz feature like that. QuizKit does not integrate onto Twitch. If it ever did, I would move that in a second. What's your favorite video I've done? Oh, man. All right, I'm not counting Red Zone. Because Red Zone was a crazy experience. I remember when that came out, that whole day was just absolutely nuts. Favorite video I've done? Genesis halftime show video was fun to do. I really liked making the Eagles moving to Phoenix video, 35-minute video that came out a few days ago. That was a really hard one to put together, but it was really, really fun, really, really rewarding. Any announcing videos, any broadcasting videos, they're always fun. Anytime where I can do a bait and switch, I love doing those. So the Bon Jovi "It's My Life" with the post-game show at Super Bowl 37, the Bingo Long video where they showed a sports movie, that was a fun one to do. I think my favorite might have been the talent show video, Super Bowl 23, the pregame show with Reggie White's comedy act. I think that might have been my favorite video I put together, not counting the Red Zone. Red Zone, I don't count Red Zone just because that was a completely different style of video. And anytime you get the whole NFL community watching the video, you get Andrew Siciliano and Scott Hansen and a whole bunch of publications talking about it and commenting on it. Yeah, nothing's going to top that. Nothing I ever do will top that. Unless I do Red Zone again, which hopefully, I've not ruled out doing Red Zone Part 2. I've not ruled that out. Hi, I'm your biggest fan. Thank you so much, Richard Miller. Thank you so much. Got your stream and Grassi's 400K stream on as well. That's the way to multi-stream. Have you considered live streaming the Jaguars-Jets Thursday night game? Absolutely not. No way. Absolutely not. So here's the thing. I love doing this. I love doing live streams. I am totally on board with doing live streams for other teams and totally on board for doing Monday Night Football live streams, maybe Sunday Night Football live streams, although that might be tough just because I usually work on the video that comes out Monday during that game, or at least some of it. I will never, in a million years, ever live stream a Jaguars game. I will never do that. I'm not like Rossi with the Packers. I'm not like Brandon Perna with the Broncos or Jordan Tree with the Steelers. I will never live stream a Jags game. I will never have my frustrations or emotions latched onto the world like that. Never will. Also, like, I don't really get, like, the lows don't really hurt me anymore. This team can't hurt me. Like, the highs, I would get really, really high, but the lows, they don't really do anything for me. I'm not really I don't really react that much for the lows. So I will never live stream a Jaguars game. I'll put it that way. Congrats, go Jags. Thank you so much, Darth Magus, and yes, go Jags. I hate to say it, I've ripped off your worse than if you did nothing but spike the ball into the ground on every single play once in my music review. That'll be $5, please. That'll be $5. I mean, I don't even know how I came up with that catchphrase. I don't even know how that was the one that stuck. I don't know. Because someone had to say it at some point, and I just ran with it. Because 39.6 is what it would be if you literally just threw incomplete passes on every single play. And I just took that and ran with it. And that's become kind of my thing now, which is awesome. You can now pay for a call to Dallas from Paul Brown's office in Cleveland. That's a throwback. That's a throwback to a video from a while ago. The Bill Kenny video. Yep. That was the one I first said the line. I might be getting drunk watching North Dakota State shoot themselves in the foot. Yeah, I haven't checked what the score in that game. I don't have a TV in front of me right now. Not my regular location. Oh, they're down to Incarnate Word. Wow. Did not see that one coming. All right, still plenty of time. Score prediction for the New Year's bowl games. All right, there's a lot of New Year's bowl games. I'm assuming you just mean the New Year's 6. Let's pull those up. So I know what order to go in. All right, we're gonna go with Georgia, Ohio State. I think Georgia wins by 10. Georgia by 10. Michigan, TCU, Michigan by 17. Let's go. I mean, it's no disrespect to TCU. Just usually these semifinal games are not that good. Usually they're not that good. Let's see. Rose Bowl, Utah, Penn State. I'll take Utah by 4. USC, Tulane. Take USC by 7. Bama, Kansas State. I'll take Bama by, now that Bryce Young and Will Anderson are playing, I'll take Bama by 17. Tennessee, Clemson. Tennessee, although Hooker's not playing, I still think they have a better team. Tennessee by 14. We'll do that. Congratulations on graduating from law school and going full-time on YouTube. Thank you so much. Oh, just missed it. $10 from Keenan Duff. Thank you so much. Hey, JG9, I just want to say congrats on your law degree and going full-time on YouTube. Your storytelling, research, and dedication is what got me hooked on JG9 and JG8. That really means a lot to me. I can't wait to see what the future holds. Neither can I. It's going to be a very, very exciting 2023. It feels weird knowing I don't have any more classes or readings or tests to study for or anything like that. I can just operate on my own schedule. I'm still be working at like crazy hours. Nothing changes there. But I'll just have more time to do other things, which will be awesome. Purdy's smile is pretty pretty. That's the one. My favorite low-hanging fruit is the history of this channel has to be the one with Walter White. That was pretty good. That was pretty good. When I saw your face yesterday, I was blown away by how young you are. I greatly admire your work and the fact that you decide to follow your heart. I will support you in any way I can, brother. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah, only 25 years old. Only 25, which feels weird. Feels weird, not going to lie. It feels weird that I'm talking about all these games from the past, and I was not alive for 90% of the games I talk about, but that I've just always been fascinated by NFL history. So I decided, let's follow this. Let's follow this. Dude, I cannot believe you lived on 2 hours of sleep per night for at least a year, let alone 2. It wasn't 2 hours it was really this past semester was rough. This past semester was rough. I had a pretty normal sleep schedule for a lot of it, and then I expanded the output to 9 videos a week. Originally, I was not going to launch JG8 until either the summer or until now when I was full-time. I wasn't going to do it. And then the whole thing on Twitter happened with John Boys from Secret Base where he shouted me out. And I'm like, okay, I have to accelerate all these plans. Like, this is awesome. The shout out is great. I have to strike while the iron's hot. I'm going to launch JG8 right now. And that was kind of when I lost a lot of sleep because instead of doing 7 videos a week, I did 9. And that took a lot out of me. $5 from Classic Rock Beagle. Here's your $5. Oh, I was just kidding about that, but thank you so much. My favorite memory, you made all the Carpenter's references the day after we released our Carpenter's review. Yeah, I remember I forget what video I made the Carpenter's references in, but I made a lot of them. That was a fun one. I should have said $100 for stealing the copyright for that, but thank you so much for that. Thank you so much. $10 from the man with the plan. Thank you so much. Hey, Jag, longtime donator, first-time viewer. Yeah, I know that's not true, but thank you so much. What is football, and why is the only game that ever mattered Saints-Bengals 78? Okay, so when a mommy football and a daddy football love each other very much, that's what football is. Saints-Bengals 78. Okay. For those who don't know on Twitch, I don't know how many of you watch the Twitch streams, but before we do that, $5 from Justin Maybach. Thank you so much. Thoughts on tomorrow's cruise for NFL Network? I thought Miami Buffalo would be better than Kugler Sanchez, unless that's really the best. Congratulations. Usually the NFL Network cruise, they get the lower tier guys, not super lower, but middle of the road tiers from CBS and Fox. I like Kugler and Sanchez. There aren't a lot of listenable announcing crews on Fox. There really aren't. Fortunately, the Jaguars have one with Burkhardt and Olsen, but there really aren't a lot of listenable crews. Kugler and Sanchez is one of the better ones. The one I'm really excited for, Rich Eisen's okay as a play-by-play guy. He's nothing special, but Kurt Warner's a good color commentator. The one I'm excited for, Colts Vikings, 1 o'clock, NFL Network, Noah Eagle and Nate Burleson. They do the Nickelodeon broadcast every year, and they are phenomenal. They have to be quick on their feet with Nickelodeon, because they have to listen to what the kids are saying while providing insight, while breaking it down for a family-friendly audience that maybe has never watched football before, and they have to squeeze in Nickelodeon references every way they can. It is insane what they have to do. Like, if you ever watched the Nickelodeon broadcast, you know how insanely good Noah Eagle and Abe Burleson are. So to hear them on an actual broadcast is going to be really, really cool. I'm really, really happy for that. Where was I in the Saints Bengals 78? That's where I was. All right. So for those who don't know, if you've never seen me on Twitch before, there's someone's probably going to ask at some point, what's the one video you haven't done yet that you really want to do, but you can't? And the video, because there's no footage available of the incident itself, is what happened in the 1978 game between the Saints and the Bengals. So for those who don't know the story behind Saints Bengals 78, here's what happened. The Saints were trailing with about 2 minutes left, and one of their offensive linemen had to, let's just say nature was calling. He had to go. And he asked the coach if he could go to the bathroom. And the coach was like, no, we have a game to win. Just go in your pants. So he did. He proceeded to go in his pants. The Saints then realized, wait a second, we have an offensive lineman now who has a poopy butt, which smells horrendously because he just went in his pants. Let's use that to our advantage. And for the 2-minute drill, they called nothing but run plays to his side of the field so that the Bengals would have to go around Poopy Buttman's poopy butt and all that. They have to go around him and block and touch him and all that. And the Bengals didn't do that because he just stunk so badly. He stunk so badly. And the game plan worked, and the Saints drove down the field, and they got the game-winning field goal. True story. Completely true story. There is no footage of the fourth quarter of that game anywhere around. I know there's NFL Films footage of like just some brief highlights from that game. There is no footage of the incident itself. The fourth quarter where they call the run plays to his side of the field. If they ever find footage, I don't know if it's lost at this point. If footage ever becomes available, I'm doing a video right then and there on that. That would be amazing. Force George with a $9.99 or $10. Thank you so much. I honestly love that 1979 point differential story when Washington was so close to making it into the 1979 playoffs. That was a fun video to do. I remember doing that one. That might have been my best 1-2 punch. I did that video, and the next day I did the Jaguars-Steelers tiebreaker video. That was a good 1-2 punch. I've fallen for your swerve jokes on some of your videos too. That's awesome. Thank you so much. I have a swerve joke coming in a college video coming up. I do have a swerve joke coming in a college video, but I love the playoff scenario videos. I can tell you week 17 or week 18 leading up to that, you know how I've done videos on historical events from the games that are taking place. So today was a Patriots-Raiders video because the Patriots and Raiders are playing on Sunday. Yesterday was Seahawks-49ers because they played. Tomorrow I'm going to do a Bengals-Buccaneers video. The two teams play on Sunday. I can say week 18, I think we're going to do nothing but playoff scenario videos of crazy final week moments in NFL history. I'm really looking forward to that because those are some of my favorite videos to do. What do you think of the Seahawks this season? I think they've exceeded expectations. No matter what happens the rest of the way, you can't lose sight of the fact that they've exceeded expectations. And Geno Smith, I mean, he's fallen a bit lately, but he has exceeded expectations too. I don't think they have enough. I think they're falling off just a bit too much. I don't think they have enough in the tank. I think the final two teams are going to be the Commanders and the Lions. Is Kenny Pickett the next Ryan Leaf? I want to go that far. Obviously, he does not have the attitude problem that Ryan Leaf had. He does not have any of those off-the-field issues whatsoever. There's nothing exciting about his play. He doesn't look down the field. Everything is checkdowns. His deep ball accuracy is so bad. And now you have all these concussions coming in. I don't know if he can stay healthy. Like, this is very worrying. Very worrying if I'm a Steeler fan. $5 from Keenan Duff again. Thank you so much. The only thing that would have made it better is if the Saints ran the fumble Rooski for that lineman or even the annexation of Puerto Rico. There was ever a time to call it. I don't get how you can have copyright when you were obviously talking about games. It's really the content ID filter. It's one of those. Now, when I dispute the stuff, every video that I put up, I make like it's monetized at the start. At the start, then you'll sometimes get the manual claims from the NFL and from other outside sources. I'll dispute those and I'll win every single one of those. That's where the law school stuff comes in handy because I know a thing or two about copyright law. But the content, the ID filters, when you upload it for the first time, there's no getting around that. There's no getting around that. NBA games are getting struck down like crazy right now on YouTube. Yeah, they're surprisingly hard to find. They're surprisingly hard to find if you want like old game footage of the NBA. There's a reason. The next channel is baseball and not NBA. MLB is pretty good. Pretty good. There are some restrictions, but I have never ran into any issues when I upload any MLB footage for my videos. So that's part of the reason why it is next. Hi, JG. Did you play football in high school? How long have you been a fan of football and baseball? I did not play football in high school. No, I've actually never played football. Never played football. I mean, I played like on the playground. I played like recess, two-hand touch all the time. Elementary school, we lived for those. Kept track of everything and all the stats and how many touchdowns I scored. I still remember it where the end zones were. I still remember the field that we made back in elementary school where the boundaries were. So, but I did not play any organized football. No. How long have you been a fan of football and baseball? Since 2005, I would say. 05, start of 05, end of 04 was really when I got into football and baseball. The first game I ever watched was Jets-Chargers back in the playoffs during the 2004 season. And the Cardinals are my favorite baseball team because Albert Pujols was my favorite player growing up. So, since the mid-2000s. I'm watching both streams to paraphrase Kevin Harlan. One of the greatest calls of all time. Really one of the greatest calls. I heard someone has a copy of Super Bowl II. That would be really cool if they had it, because Super Bowl II footage is very hard to find. Very hard to find. Can't wait until Dumb Decisions becomes its own franchise. It's going to be its own brand at this point. Thoughts on the Marcus Mariota situation? I need to know more details. Because that doesn't sound like Mariota to just quit the team. That doesn't sound like him at all. I think it was, look, he just got surgery. He just gave birth. New dad, he wants to spend time with the kid. So if that's the situation, I have no problem with it. Look, I met Marcus Mariota. He's a very, very nice guy. This does not seem in character for him just by the details we have. I don't think he would, because he's been benched before and he's been demoted before. That doesn't sound like him at all. Any chance of you doing a retro Red Zone down the line? No rush, but I love a sequel. I would love a sequel too. I would really love to do a sequel. The holdups for me for retro Red Zone, and again, I want to do it. Number one, I did it at a time where there was nothing going on in the sports world. That was it. If you wanted sports that day, the only thing on, besides I think iRacing, was retro Red Zone. I think that was the only thing on. So I wouldn't have that if I did it now. So there might be a bit less interest. The other thing, I have to go bigger and better. So graphics packages would have to improve. I want to do like a pregame show. I have a lot of things in mind. Plus finding the week for the Red Zone is tough. So I have to do that. And it's just very time consuming. It took a month to put together the last Red Zone video, really the only Red Zone video. And that was at a time where I was doing 3-minute uploads for the channel, not these 16-minute videos plus JG8. So it would take a lot to do it, but I would love to do another Red Zone. I really would love to do it. Have I played Retro Bowl yet? I've not played that yet. No, I've not. I discovered some of the most obscure facts about NFL history through your videos. Thank you so much. I'm learning new stuff every day. That's the beauty of this. I am learning new stuff every single day that I do this. $5 from TechMet. Thank you so much. Possibility for a video about why the Seahawks are seemingly masters at scoregami. Maybe agami. Maybe. I love scoregami. I root for scoregami if it is within the realm of possibility and doesn't impact my team. I always root for scoregami. One of the greatest made-up stats of all time. John Boys is phenomenal for that. First time I saw your face was on a Tom Grossi video from 2 years before the Packers-Jaguars game. Yeah, that was a preview of the Jaguars-Packers game from 2020. I was on his show. I think at that point I had 3,000, 2,000 subs, about 3,000 subs. Grossi was still working. Even then, we've come a long, long way, both of us. Thoughts on Drew Brees and Purdue and the turnaround of Tulane? I mean, look, Drew Brees is an assistant, so he doesn't really make too much of an impact as an assistant coach. Just for now, an interim assistant coach. I think it's a fine hire. I think it's a fine hire. Look, you got to start somewhere. Assistant coach, interim. It's not going to rock the boat. Just someone to steady things. And he clearly knows what he's doing. So no problem with that. The turnaround of Tulane has been phenomenal. Really, really shocking to not see it coming at all. Been following you for a long time on the weekly Q&As, which I can't live without now. So well done. Thank you so much. It's crazy to me how many people tune into the Q&As every single week and they revolve their schedule around them. I've heard people taking off of work to be on my show or being on the streams or playing trivia during their lunch break or their dinner break. Just crazy to me. The first time I realized, wait, this is not normal. This is not normal. Was when about a year and a half ago, I was doing JG9 live, and someone said afterwards that they loved it and they were watching from all the way in the Netherlands, and it was like 5 a.m. there. So they were up from 3 to 5 a.m. or something crazy like that. I'm like, wow, this is crazy to me. This is crazy to me. I don't realize sometimes it's tough when you're in your apartment and you're making videos all the time. You don't realize how many people you're impacting, and it's really, really humbling. VW Falk with a $10. Benjamin, thank you so much. Enjoy videos down by contact from the 1950s, plus the Reggie Rucker video, plus the Frank Gans video, the NFL IBM simulation radio deal. I love that. I loved that video too. That was a fun one to put together. I worked on that one during my break in between classes in the spring of law school. So anytime I had a break, I'd work on some videos at the same time. And in between what class was it? It was intellectual property and pro sport branding. I had like an hour break and I would stay at the law school and I would just work on that video. That was a fun one to put together. Left email on 06 Memphis season defensive coordinator change. I will take a look at that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And thank you for being a longtime viewer of the stream. Really love it when you're on the Twitch streams and you're commenting. I love it. And hopefully we'll see you on Wednesday night for the jackpot game. Yeah, before we get to any questions, for those who don't know, so every Wednesday night we do live NFL trivia on Twitch at 9 p.m. Eastern. It's a whole lot of fun. I noticed a lot of people that are in this stream right now who play. It's so much fun. You basically test your football knowledge. You win cash prizes. We've given away, I don't know how much exactly, but it's somewhere in the ballpark of, since we started this, probably over 5K, well over $5,000. Wednesday night at 9 p.m., we are playing for a minimum cash prize, a minimum. So we can increase of $300. So whoever wins the game will win $300. Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern. I'll put a link to that right now in the, if you want to follow me on Twitch. That's where we do the trivia. I would do it on YouTube, but there is no quiz kit extension where we play, where you click the answer on the screen. So we have to do it on Twitch. But if you do want to watch and do want to play, get a chance for some money, it's a fun night. It's a really, really fun night. Have you ever seen a team decline 3 penalties like what happened last night? To my knowledge, that was the first time I've seen that. To my knowledge, that was the first time. Found you at the start of the year and very glad to be ending the year with it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Crazy how fast this year has flown by. Really, I did not think I'd be in this position 1 year ago. I could have gone full-time 1 year ago, but I did not think I'd be in the position where I'd be graduating law school. So, crazy how much it's flown by. I'm excited for the Jags-Jets Bowl next week. So am I. It's funny, when the schedule came out, I was like, Jaguars-Jets, week 16, Thursday night. Why? Why are they doing this? Don't get me wrong. I'm glad they're doing it because I don't want to play Christmas Eve or Christmas. I don't like playing on those holidays. Play on the 22nd, get it out of the way. But why are we playing week 16? The Jags and Jets were terrible last year. It's going to be nothing. Why would they not do that week 2 or 3? And now it's probably one of the biggest Thursday night games of the year. Oh, Grossi just hit 400K. He was at 100. He was 150 away when I was last on before I got everything set up here. That's awesome. That is awesome. I sense that owners back years ago didn't want their home games televised. Yeah, that's a pretty good assumption, just based on the Patriots Raiders video I put out today. Yeah, so back then there was a real concern that if you televised the game, no one would show up. And to be fair, parts of it were valid. Now, there were parts that were a bit overblown, but there were a lot of no-shows. The first week that the blackout rule was put in place, where week 1 of 1973, if a stadium held about 55,000, only about 45,000 showed up. The game would be sold out, and then 10,000 people just would decide to watch at home. So there were some concerns. Now, granted, a situation like what the Patriots did was so wrong, but at least they made it right in the very end. What a Friday. Grassi hitting 400K and JG9 live stream on YouTube. Absolutely glorious. What a Friday indeed. What a Friday. JG9 not going full-time would have been worse than just spiking the ball every play of the game. Would have destroyed my health, I can tell you that much. Let's see. Do you think the Lions can pull off a late playoff push this year? I think so. They're playing some of the best football in the league right now. And you look at the Giants and the Seahawks, they're slipping. The Lions' schedule is not that bad. I think they win on Sunday against the Jets with Zach Wilson. The thing with the Lions, their offense was always great this year. Yeah, it had a bit of a rough 2 or 3 game stretch somewhere in the middle, but it was really just if the defense could be average instead of one of the worst defenses of all time, they'd be good. They'd be in a pretty good spot. And sure enough, that's exactly what's happened. I think the Lions are peaking at just the right time. The Giants are slipping, and they have a tough schedule. The Seahawks are slipping. They don't look like they're going to recover anytime soon. Lions, I think, could definitely make a push. From 1 to 10, how would you rate the World Cup overall? Okay, I'm just talking on the field. All right? I just want to make this on the field because if I took everything off the field into account, it would be a 0. It'd be a 0 for obvious reasons. If we're just talking on the field, I mean, you had upsets, but a very predictable final. The games themselves were good, but I don't think anything outside of maybe Argentina, Netherlands was a crazy great knockout game. That's going to be remembered for a long time. The semifinals were a bit underwhelming. I'd say a 6. But again, we're just talking on the field. Off the field, if we're combining that, 0. So I hear you say you're going to be doing baseball. That would be awesome. Yes, I am going to be doing baseball. February 2023, we are launching a baseball channel on there. I really do enjoy your videos. Thank you so much, but they often seem to drag on a bit more than needed. Is there some minimum length that YouTube requires? So YouTube doesn't require a minimum length. They do not require a minimum length for anything. The funny thing is, with the length of the videos, because I have all the analytics in front of me, for whatever reason, because when I first started experimenting with longer videos, I will say longer videos do make a bit more money. I will say that. I'll be very upfront. Longer videos make more money than shorter videos. But the analytics say that the watch time percentage is exactly the same. So if, like, when I did the 4-minute videos, the 5-minute videos, people watched about 60% of the way through. And that includes people that watch all the way through, people that skip certain parts, people that click on the video, then click off after 1 second. When I do the videos at this length, it's exactly the same percentage. So length doesn't really have a just analytics wise. I want to be upfront about the analytics because I believe in transparency. In terms of the analytics, like the percentages are exactly the same. So I never really thought of a need to change it. I definitely, I have experimented. I'm going to experiment with shorts. I am experimenting with shorts where I do videos that are cut up into 60 seconds. I want to see how that goes. I just put out the first short today on the Patriots Raiders game. The goal is to have the video come out in the morning, 9 a.m. Eastern, and then sometime around 4 p.m., the condensed version of the video come out on shorts. We'll see how it goes. YouTube changed a lot of stuff with shorts. That's why I didn't really do it at first. But now that it's in a different tab, I'm like, you know what? Let's do it. As an American who watches soccer once every 4 years, I'm so confused by stoppage time. It beats the alternative of having a countdown clock. I will say that because college soccer with a countdown clock, I don't like the countdown clock. I really don't. So you're from Long Island. How did you become a Jaguars and a Gators fan? So Jaguars fan, I watched them on TV. They played Sunday Night Football against the Bengals. I was hooked on them. I hated the Steelers growing up because they beat the Jets in the 04 playoffs. And I saw them beat the Steelers. They cut away into coverage of the end of that game. Tommy Maddox threw a pick six to Rasheed Mathis in overtime in Heinz Field. And that was the moment I was like, okay, this is my team. Gainers, I just like watching Tim Tebow. Tebow was my favorite player growing up. So that one's relatively easy for me to explain. Plus, there aren't any college football teams for me. There aren't any teams. The two closest FBS schools to me, or Division 1A when it was back when I started watching, the two closest ones were in two completely different states. So we don't really have a local team in New York. College football is not that big in New York. It's not that big where I'm from. So Florida was pretty easy with Tim Tebow. But NFL, my least favorite game that I called, okay, this one is also easy. The second game I ever called was a women's soccer game between High Point and Coastal Carolina. My freshman year, there were two shots the entire game. They both came within like 30 seconds of each other. And they played overtime, double overtime. It ended 0-0. So imagine a 110-minute game with two shots. That was my least favorite. My favorite sport, for those wondering, my favorite sport to call was volleyball. Volleyball was awesome because, A, the team was phenomenal. The team won the conference pretty much every year. They were really good. But the games were just so fast-paced, you didn't have to really wonder what you're going to say next. It kind of spoke for itself. Very easy to follow, very fast-moving, and the games were super quick. 3 setters take 70, 80 minutes to play. And we did have one time we had LSU come to town and they played a 5-setter. That was an awesome game to call. If the Jags made the Super Bowl this year, would I go? Absolutely. Look, if the Jags ever make it in my lifetime, I'm going no matter what. Especially this year. I would be an idiot not to go since I live in the city that it's being played in. Like, if there's ever a year for me to have no excuses if they make it, this is the year. Granted, I don't think it's happening, but as Nathaniel says, looking for the Jags in 2023. Could Titans and Jags get flex to Sunday Night Football for Week 18? It could. I think they're going to do Ravens-Bengals. I think Ravens-Bengals, if that's for the North. And they'll probably do Jaguars-Titans as a Saturday night game with Joe Buck and Troy Aikman on ABC. I could see that. 199 from Alex. Talk about a smart decision, subscribing. Thank you so much for that. Bring back the banjo in the background. Do I have a favorite soccer side? Hang on, let me just take this quick sip of water. We've been on for over an hour or so. All right. Do I have a favorite soccer side? Yes. Fulham. Been a fan since 2013. I didn't used to have a team at all. But then two things happened. Number one, NBC bought the rights to the Premier League. And that was big because back then, there was no real accessible way to watch soccer. There really wasn't. ESPN had one game a week, and that was it. So I didn't really want to get into soccer because I couldn't watch my team play. And then NBC bought the rights and decided to televise every single game. I'm like, okay, that seems like a good time to get into the Premier League. And at the same time, Shad Khan, the owner of the Jaguars, bought Fulham. And I was like, okay, that makes sense now. That's my team. And it's been up and down. I will say it's been very up and down. A lot of relegations, but a lot of highs with the promotions. And this season has been going phenomenally so far. I'm really, really happy about that. But yeah, Fulham is my favorite soccer team. I don't have a favorite MLS team, although Phoenix gets one. If they get an expansion team, they will become my team. Hey, brother, just want to congratulate you. Thank you so much. You're the one that said the 20. Thank you so much. Who is your favorite football player ever? MJD. Maurice Jones-Drew is my all-time favorite. He was so much fun to watch. He was just a bowling ball. He could duck under guys. He could plow through guys. The block on Sean Merriman, the kneel down at the 1-yard line against the Jets in 2009. So many great memories with him. And it is a shame that he is not in the part of the Jaguars right now. I don't know what the holdup is, but he should absolutely be in there. I'm having issues with the trivia the past 2 weeks. Twitch didn't say that you were live. Okay, so a few weeks ago, I forget what day it was. I think it was, okay, This past Wednesday, there was no trivia. I announced that because I graduated. That was the whole point. So I graduated on Wednesday. Officially had the ceremony Wednesday. I wanted to do trivia, but obviously graduation took priority. So I didn't do it then. I think November 16th, I think I didn't do it because when I say my body crashed on me, that's the whole thing. The taking like the whole law school thing and doing all the videos, it took a lot out of me. It took a lot. And I was working on trivia questions. I was working on the channel, and I blinked, and the next thing I knew, it was 6 hours later. And I was like, oh no, this is not happening. So so I canceled that, and I canceled Wednesday because of graduation. But every other week we've been on. Every other week we've been on trivia. So it should work this week. I have to really just update the card and say we're doing every Wednesday night instead of the completely outdated thing that's on right now. I have to update that. But yes, we do have trivia this Wednesday night. I remember this channel being the singular thousands of subscribers not long ago. Salute. Thank you so much, Bad Booking. Thank you so much. Yeah, I think it was, when did we hit 10K? I think it was May of 2021, I think was when we hit 10K. And look at where we are now. We're close to 50K. We might hit by Super Bowl. I don't think we will, but we might. It's not out of the realm of possibility, which would be insane to me. Absolutely insane. Like, we are close to halfway there to a plaque. Never thought that would be possible. Never thought that'd be possible. Do I think I can win a Super Bowl with the greatest offense, but you have to use the bed and breakfast offense? We have okay. Trying to find my place in the chat. Trying to find my place. Because there are a lot of questions, and my chat just refreshed. I want to try to get to everything. All right. Are you a Trevor Lawrence believer? Absolutely. Why wouldn't I be? Absolutely. My one concern with Trevor was he was not good in the clutch. He beat Baltimore. He did that thing. We're good. We're good. Trevor's been phenomenal the past month and a half. He's been absolutely phenomenal. And he stopped doing really dumb things. He stopped making stupid throws in the end zone. Trevor's the guy. Trevor's absolutely the guy. He's playing at a Pro Bowl level right now. You should do a series where NFL players flopped in professional wrestling. Pro wrestler myself. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I've thought about doing like some crossover videos where NFL players venture out to other things like singing careers or other sports. I thought about that. I kind of did that with the Garrett video from 1969. I kind of did that one. Would I like to collaborate with Your Name Tree? Absolutely. Your Name Tree is awesome. I did a stream with him. I follow him on Twitter. We interact all the time. He's awesome. What previous video would I want to do a revisit on? A lot of the old videos from back then I would. 73 Falcons is probably the one. That kind of got mangled by the copyright thing back when I didn't know what I was doing, and the YouTube editor kind of messed everything up. I would love to revisit that. I probably could revert back to the original video and then just dispute everything else. But 73 Falcons, that starts of the season. I would probably want to revisit that. Live streaming a Jaguars game would result in a lot of expletive deleted comments. It would be bad. It would be bad. If you need a hockey guy, I'd love to help. Hockey is soon for expansion. Hockey's soon. I want to do baseball first. I definitely want to do baseball first. Next up, I don't know what will be next up after baseball. We'll cross the bridge when we get to it, but that'd be awesome. Congrats on becoming a full-time career. Super happy for you. Thank you, Roblox. Thank you so much. I donated $3.96 because I couldn't afford $39.60 or $3.96. All good. All good. Thank you so much. Really, you guys don't have to donate. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Really means a lot to me. I'm going to the Giants Commanders game, cheering for the Commanders Sunday night. Have fun. It should be an interesting game if the last game was anything to go off of. I've never been to FedEx Field. I don't really have a desire to go to FedEx Field, but I'm sure you'll have a great time. Monday morning quarterback, Rick Easterbrook. Yeah, I remember reading those comments all the time growing up. Also talked about the 39.6 rating often, or Tuesday morning quarterback. Yeah, Monday morning was Peter King. The dream collab would be JG9 and KTO. That would be awesome. That would be awesome. What I really want to do is one with John Boys. And I really want to do a video on the Dolphins-Bills rivalry in the 70s, where the Dolphins and Bills played 20 times in the 70s, and the Dolphins went 20-0. I would love to do a video on that. My favorite part of football season. Um, if this was last year, I would have said when it's over because Urban Meyer hurt me too much. But favorite part of football season, I love the draft. Honestly, I love the draft. I try to go to the draft every single year. It's always an experience. It's always so much fun. I love the feeling of hope you get. They do a very good job with the draft. Everyone on location, just mingling with fans of other teams. It is so much fun. The draft has become a spectacle. I love it so much. I think Pat White's career was over 5 autocompletes, passer rating 39.6. If I ever had a logo like NBA with a silhouette, it would probably be Pat White for that exact reason. In America, you spike football, and Soviet Russia football spike you. I envision a Georgia-Michigan rematch this time for the title. I think so too. I think so too. Question: if the Jaguars win the division, will you do a sketch on you celebrating the victory while wearing the Jags puke jersey? The Jags puke jersey, they bought it like 2 sizes too small. So I couldn't even wear it if I tried. But no, I would just be, reaction-wise, I'd probably just be crying tears of joy. Honestly, I'd be at the stadium because it would be week 18. So the only way we could win it is being at the stadium week 18 against the Titans. There's no other scenario. I'd just be there and I'd be just a mess. Honestly, I'd be a sobbing mess, wondering if this was real. I see the NASCAR art behind you. Are you a huge NASCAR fan? This is not my regular location. These are all just motivational posters. Like that just says risk. That one says drive. There's some around me that say challenge, opportunity, achievement. These are all just motivational posters. These are not. I'm not a huge NASCAR fan. This is not my regular location, so I'm just at my parents' place for the holidays. Congrats on going full-time on YouTube. Thank you so much. Will Josh Jacobs break Marcus Allen's single-season rushing record this year? We have a 690 with M. Starzo. Nice. I see what you did there. I like it. I have a very similar sense of humor, so I love it when you work that in. Thank you so much. Yeah, that's always that's an easy one, but a fun one. Will Josh Jacobs break the record this year? He's having a great year. Right now, he's my pick for first team All-Pro. Right now, it's at 1402. Okay, how many does he need to get? He's got 4 games to do it. He needs to get 2. 1759. So he needs to average about 80 per game. I could see it. I could see it. I could see it. The greatest 4-yard punt in NFL history was one of the first vids of yours I saw. I didn't think how it could be possible, but after seeing the play and seeing how prevented a momentum shift, I believe. I love doing those Thanksgiving videos. Those were fun to do. I kind of stopped doing them just because Thanksgiving content is so finite. You run out eventually because there's only so many games on Thanksgiving, but that was a fun one to do. It really is amazing going through the comments and going through all the reactions to my announcement, how so many people have so many different favorite videos of theirs that I never thought would be anyone's favorite. And knowing that every single one of my videos is at least someone's favorite, that's really awesome. Some of them I don't even remember the details of making. I've forgotten so much. It really, really means a lot. Thank you so much. Will I use any of my law school knowledge on future NFL or college football videos? I might. I feel like I indirectly use it. I feel like I indirectly use it to some extent. When I've mentioned about like the lawyer in me and contracts and why this is a horrible contract, and I try to talk about like the Eagles to Phoenix video. That was a good example. The Eagles to Phoenix video. I talked about what they probably could have argued. It was never brought up in any newspapers, but I tried to think like a lawyer, tried to think in hypotheticals, and thought, okay, maybe they could argue this. I don't know how much standing it would have, but maybe they could argue this. Or I think in the Colts video from 1970 with the Monday Night Football game where they had to move the field, I said, okay, maybe they could argue the fans could try to get a refund or try and sue because they bought seats that materially changed. So I indirectly use it in some extent. In terms of breaking down actual cases, maybe. We'll see. Congrats on making this a big commitment. Thank you so much, Justin. Thank you so much. Congrats on becoming a full-time career. Do you have a Discord server for the community? So I do have a Discord. I am not well versed in Discord. I have not logged into Discord in so long. But there is one in the description of my thing, but I have not logged into it in forever. I think someone set up for me, and I never check it. I'm not huge on Discord. Joe Judge QB sneak was incredibly low-hanging fruit. It was very, very obvious. Sometimes the video topics fall out of the sky and you don't have to think too hard. That was one of them. The Nathaniel Hackett videos are another one. I'm going to miss it so much when he gets fired because he was a gold mine. Like, there's some videos that are just so obvious that I have to do it. Joe Judge was probably the most obvious I've ever done because it was like, okay, a QB sneak on 3rd and 9. Everyone knows this is stupid. I don't care. I'm going to jump on it. I do so many videos where I'm discovering new stuff, and I can take the low-hanging fruit every once in a while. I got 365 days of content to fill. I can take the low-hanging fruit every once in a while. I'm 20 and I love NFL history. Absolutely. That's awesome. That's awesome. It's amazing how many people my age or younger love the history of the NFL and want to learn more. And it really is amazing to be able to do this for a living now. Let's see. As a Colts fan who lives in and from Indy, admire this guy's channel and videos and input on them. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. If the Jaguars win the division, will you make a video of celebrating while wearing the puke jersey? I think I answered that one already, but no, I will. I don't know what I'll do. If it happens on if it's a Sunday, well, I'll be at the game. I'll be at the game, so I can't really do a live reaction. I could do like a walk back from the stadium to the hotel. I could do that, but we'll see. We'll see. Let's cross the bridge when we get there. We still have a lot of football left. A lot of football left. I'm optimistic, but look, we're still 2 games back. We still have some work to do. The Titans still have some work to do. So, love your channel as a football junkie. I totally adore your videos. Thank you so much. Thank you. As someone who's only recently started being an NFL fan, I really appreciate your channel teaching me all sorts of knowledge and cool trivia. Thank you. Thank you so much. A Washington-Cincinnati game preseason from 1970 had the Carpenters. Oh, yes. Now I remember it. Because rainy days and Mondays. Yeah, now I remember it because they were big in 1970. Yeah, now I remember it. See, you guys remember stuff that I don't even remember doing. Like, it's awesome. It's awesome. I'm imagining you in court saying, "I'm sorry." What? That's another reason why I'm doing this full time. I would get a bar complaint within 5 minutes if I did that. I would get a misconduct violation. Congrats, Jaguar from Paul Ever 1978. Best of luck with your future endeavors. Thank you so much, and hope to see you in the stream on Wednesday night. Thank you so much. It's weird that Noah Eagle sounds more like a young JG9's somehow. Noah Eagle's phenomenal too. That's the thing. Like, sometimes nepotism in the broadcasting world can be really annoying. Noah Eagle is legitimately good. He is legitimately phenomenal at his job. Like, you can tell. He's the next big thing. He's up and coming. I'm so excited for that broadcast with Noah Eagle, but knowing us, we'll find a way to lose to Jeff freaking Saturday. I know, Jeff Saturday has not been getting it done lately. He has not been getting it done lately. You should do a video on Don Klosterman, former GM of the LA Rams, who pulled off some of the most lopsided trades in the 70s. Klosterman's an interesting guy. He's an interesting guy. I've definitely thought about doing some videos. I have a lot of videos in the works. Nickelodeon forgets to impose the 7-second delay, though. Yes, they do. They did have an incident in the Bears-Saints game. They did have that. I'm concerned this year for the broadcast just because it's Broncos-Rams, and they won't really be able to use the slime cannons because no one's finding the end zone. They're not doing Wildcard Weekend. They're only doing the Christmas game. They're only doing the Christmas game. I really like Tony Romo as an announcer. He's probably my favorite recent announcer. I would agree. Tony Romo is awesome. Tony Romo, I feel like is Steph Curry in the sense that he changed the game, but not for the better in some ways. But he's just so good at his job that you don't care. Like, here's the thing. Steph Curry, phenomenal player, obviously. Greatest shooter of all time. But you notice something when watching Steph. And that's now that everyone tries to be Steph when they are not Steph. And they launch up these 35-foot threes for no reason. You play intramural basketball, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The shift in how I play basketball and how people play basketball from when I was a freshman in college versus to when I was a senior in college, when I did intramurals, night and day. It was way more about just jacking up random threes, trying to be Steph. Tony Romo is the same way. He's so good at his job that now everyone is like, we need to hire the next Tony Romo. And they don't realize that Tony Romo is one of a kind. Tony Romo is one of the only people that can go into broadcasting with no experience whatsoever and pull it off. The only one of the only ones. We've seen so many networks hire guys completely straight out of playing. Right out of playing. And they're terrible. They have no on-camera presence. You look at guys like Jason Witten. You look at Drew Brees was not that good last year. They hire guys with no experience to these top crews. And you're going to see with Tom Brady in a few years. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. So, but I do love Tony Romo. He provides such great insight. He's got such a charisma about him, such a personality. I love the guy. I love the guy. Let's see. Anthony Munoz, number 78 for Bengals, top offensive lineman all time. Oh, not top 100. He's top 5. Munoz is really, really good. Tomorrow's video actually revolves somewhat around him. Tomorrow's video actually somewhat revolves around Munoz. First and only recorded use of a biohazard on an offense in NFL history. Yeah, with the Bengals-Saints game. Yeah. Congrats for JG9's idea. Check out the 1994 Pitt, West Virginia backyard brawl. Oh, there are so many good backyard brawl stories I want to get to. The game is filled with tons of scoring and the Pitt PA announcer making fun of West Virginia fans. I definitely have to check that out. There's so many cool things from the backyard brawl that I want to do a video on. I pooped my pants before a wrestling tournament in high school and had extra underwear to change, but I'll wrestle like that and did decent. That's good for you. Good for you, man. Was Poopy Butt Conrad Dobler? It was not Dobler. He would be the kind of person to do that, but it was not Dobler. Yes, that was the Easter egg in the Archie Griffin video. That was a while ago. I think it was when did I do that? About a year ago? I think a year ago I did that. So for those who don't remember, Archie Griffin, I said there was an Easter egg in that video. The Easter egg was that one of the bars was brown. And no one knew why except for, I think, a few people who were on the streams. That was the Easter egg, that the bar was brown. Congrats on the full time, brother. Been watching you since 2020, and it's crazy to see how much you've grown. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's insane to me. It really is insane to me how much I've grown and how much this channel's grown, this community has grown. Thank you so much. Speaking of D3, do a video on Fred Jackson's path to the NFL. I could. Very good player. Underrated player. What game is Rich Eisen and Kurt Warner calling? The 4:30 game. They're calling the second game. Geno is close to 30 touchdowns. Pretty impressive. Yeah, I did not see that coming. I did not see that coming at all. Geno Smith, comeback player of the year this year? I think so. I think so. I don't know who else you would give it to. I mean, he's come back at an insanely high level, playing at a Pro Bowl level. He'll win comeback player of the year. Saw a guy on my shift today wearing a Niners beanie and a Dodgers hoodie. And I was very conflicted. That's a weird combo. That is a weird combo. Oh, we have a 199 from Better Nathan Lever. Thank you so much. Do you know where they store the NFL film reels? I do not, but I wish I did. If I did, I would find the Saints Bengals footage immediately. That's my national treasure. That's the next plot to national treasure. We're going to steal the NFL Films footage. Mike Tomlin definitely wouldn't allow Kenny Pickett out like Ryan Leaf. No, he would not. Plus, Pickett doesn't seem like that kind of guy. A good and funny video was the dumb decisions when the Eagles forgot to send their kicker on against the Bucs. I remember that one. That was the Norm Johnson video from '99. One of the all-time dumb decisions. How do you not have the kicker on the sidelines? It makes no sense to me. So crazy how much Andy Reid has grown from his second game ever, not knowing that his kicker wasn't on the field, to now a Hall of Fame coach. I was hoping for a video on the Fog Bowl before the Bears-Eagles game. That would have been tough just because the NFL has done so many videos on that. I think they did an hour-long video on that. I don't know if I could have added anything. I don't like doing videos where I can't really add anything that it's been done already. Like a common request I get is Super Bowl 49. Do a dumb decisions or an in defense of the Malcolm Butler play. I'm just thinking to myself, I can't add anything. Every angle has been taken. There's nothing I can say that hasn't been said already. I don't want to do that. Fog Bowl, if I can find an angle that hasn't been done, but I feel like the Fog Bowl, there's so many documentaries and videos on that. I don't know if I could do anything. And thank you for the $1 Paul Ever. Thank you so much. Have you ever made a video based on a request from a non-Patreon member? Yes. The difference is that, so I have videos that sometimes get requested by non-patrons that I have planned already. And And there were some great ideas from non-patrons I'll put in the vault. Patreon, if you're on my Patreon, first off, thank you so much. But the top tier of Patreon, they get, among other things, the ability to get one video per year on each channel. So you can get a video on JG9 and a video on JG8 that I would do no matter what. So you get to the front of the line and I do a video right then and there. I get it within about 3 weeks. So that is that's the benefit to Patreon. You basically jump the queue. You jump the queue. Will I have more videos about the bad history of the Browns since 1999? Yes, absolutely. I was working on one with Eric Mangini and how bad he was. I'm not sure when I'm going to get to that, but I was working on one. Paul Ever within a $1 donation as usual. If you didn't put the username down, I wouldn't have known exactly who it was. Thank you so much. Hey there, JG9. Do you think the Lions could be contenders next year? I think they could be contenders this year. Like, they're peaking at the right time. Jared Goff's playing great. The defense is starting to pick it up. The Lions, I think there's no reason why they can't be. There really is no reason why they can't be. Their offense is playing lights out. They're one premier pass rusher away, and granted, Hutchinson has looked fine so far, but you get one more premier pass rusher, you build a great defensive line like that, like, you've got something. You really do. Almost all MLB games from 2009 to 2019 are available if you know where to look. Yeah, Foolish Bailey did a video on where to look for the MLB games. So I'm definitely gonna use some of that knowledge for the channel. In your opinion, what is the greatest interdivisional rivalry in the NFL over the last 15 years? My pick is Saints-Vikings. That's a great one. Last 15 years, so Patriots-Colts doesn't really qualify. Jaguars-Steelers doesn't really qualify as much as I love that one. Titans-Ravens is getting up there, though. You know what? Titans-Ravens, if I can't go Saints-Vikings, I'll go Titans-Ravens. There is some bad blood between those teams. I think the Titans might hate the Ravens more than they hate any other team in the South. What do you think of Justin Fields? I think he's playing some very good football right now. I'm really happy for him. He was my second favorite quarterback in the draft behind Trevor, obviously. They're finally starting to play to his strengths. The Bears still don't really have a whole lot of offensive weapons, but you get him a legitimate wide receiver one, you got something. You really do. I really like Fields. I really, really like Fields. Love your videos made from a Scottish guy in Australia who is just really getting into American football. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah, I don't know the specifics with NBA and content creators. I know for old games, it's a bit tough. For old games, it's tough. Like, if you watch documentaries on NBA from the past, a lot of it is pictures and still images. It's not really footage. There's probably a reason for that. Being a Jets fan writer, I vividly remember the Nate game, Chargers wildcard. Yes, first game I ever watched. Good introduction to football. My friend who also lives in New York is a Cardinals fan. Thank you for answering. You're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah, Cardinals are my team. I do like the Diamondbacks, though. They're my second team. But Cardinals are my number one. My Harry Kane missed pen with Kenny Albert and John Vilma only got copyright strike after a week. Yeah, soccer is also very, very brutal with copyright. Soccer is very brutal. That is tough. Eric Hosmer DFA'd by the Sox. Oh, God. Oh, what a career he's had. Awful contract with the Padres. How do you get DFA'd when the other team is paying off your salary? That's saying something. You have nothing to lose. Who wins the NFC South? Does Tampa hold on? I think Tampa holds on just by default. If anyone's going to take over, it's Carolina. I don't trust Atlanta. I'm not a huge Desmond Ridder fan. New Orleans has horrible coaching and can't trust Andy Dalton right now. So I would say Tampa by default. But if anyone's going to take it, it's Carolina. Love your videos, man. My Lions beat your Jags like Dan Campbell saw your dumb decision video. Congratulations. Keep it a good one. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Is the Jets rookie class one of the best in recent years? They've had the rookie of the week 10 out of 14 weeks. I mean, it could be. It could be. Still a lot of football left in terms of like going forward. I will say rookie of the week is a fan voted award, so you can't really take too much stock into that. Like Gardner Minshew won rookie of the week just about every other week in Jacksonville. So, I mean, the Jets have had some phenomenal rookies. Don't get me wrong. Sauce Gardner is phenomenal. Breece Hall, obviously, before he got hurt, crushing it. Jets have had some very, very good rookies. I think this class is really, really strong. One of the greatest of all time. or recent years. Let's pump the brakes on that just a bit. The Saints in 2017 are going to be tough to top. What's good, JG? I'm a Titans fan. Good luck on your season. Thank you so much. Thank you. I would say good luck on yours, but I really don't want to. I really don't want you guys winning the division again. But thank you so much. Thank you so much. I really love your Dumb Decisions episode every time. Thank you so much. Thank you. Any chance of videos on weird fantasy football events or more retro gambling bad beats? If I ever did those, I'd do a spin-off channel. I love doing the bad beats series. It just wasn't pulling in the numbers and that I wanted to necessarily, and especially with how much time it took. That one took a lot of time to put together. But if I ever did, I would love to do like a gambling channel of fantasy football events and Bad Beats Club, revive that series. I'd love to do that. That would be a future expansion, but not anytime soon. But I have not rolled it out. Tom Grossi seems like a cool dude. What's he like? Yeah, he's just as cool as he seems. He really is. He's just as cool. Everything in the stream, it's not a facade. He is a really, really cool, genuine, down to earth guy. Love that guy. Love that guy. What's your opinion on Fickle to Wisconsin? Look, he did a very good job with Cincinnati. I'm a bit surprised that he left right as since he was joining the Big 12, but look, Fickle's a pretty safe hire. Pretty safe hire. Great channel, big fan. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Do you think Mike Leach could have been an assistant coach in the NFL? First off, rest in peace to one of the greatest characters of all time. Phenomenal coach. I know he's not eligible for the Hall of Fame for college. He should be in. You got to waive the requirement. I know why the standards are there. I get it, but this is a rule that was meant to be broken. An assistant coach, I think he could have been a head coach. I think maybe not could have been a head coach, but I don't see how he would have been an assistant. I don't know how he would have been an assistant. He's the kind of guy that he's a head coach or nothing. He really is. Do you want to do Q&As on YouTube sometime soon? Yes, absolutely. So the plan for now is when I get the studio, sometime this off season, when that happens, I'm going to do some Q&A streams on YouTube. I'm going to do the weekly Q&A streams on YouTube instead of Twitch. Part of the reason why I didn't do it before was because of the fact that all the videos were in the same tab. It was very cluttered. It was very disorganized. So it used to be for channels that YouTube would have your regular videos, your shorts, and your live streams all in the same tab. And now they split them up. So you have continuity there, which I really, really like. So I want to do that once I get the studio and when I get some better equipment and move those away from Twitch. Twitch will always have trivia, though. We'll always do trivia on Twitch unless YouTube can build a QuizKit platform or QuizKit comes to YouTube, because right now I cannot do live quizzes on YouTube. It is impossible. You should do a video on the tenure of Mike McCormick of the 1970s Eagles. Yeah, the 70s Eagles, especially before Vermeil came, a lot of really crazy stories from there that I want to get to at some point. Your Aloha Stadium stream after Trivia Night a few weeks ago was great. That was one of my favorite streams of all time. That might have been my favorite, honestly. That auction was a godsend. That auction. And if anyone bought any of the merchandise or bought the NFL vest, I would love to know and see if you can try it out. What's the greatest post-game speech or interview ever? Post-game. I'd say Jim Mora. Jim Mora's rant was pretty iconic. I always saw you as a milder version of urinating tree on your dumb decisions and in defense of episodes. That's a good way of putting it. Yeah, because I don't really curse at all on the thing, but I don't really yell as much. I do like one or two yells every now and then, but yeah, I could say that a milder version, a family-friendly NFL history version. Who do you think it's the Broncos' next head coach, or who do you think the Broncos' next head coach will be when Hackett gets fired? D'Amico Ryans. I think it's going to be D'Amico Ryans. I would love to play, but I don't know how to use Twitch. All right, so it's super easy to play NFL trivia on Twitch. It's super easy. All you need to do is sign up. That's all you need to do is just create a Twitch account. That's all you have to do. And then all that happens is you're on the stream and you just click the right answer. And that's it. That's all you have to do. So you sign in and you just click the answer. It's super easy. It's super fun, and you can win some money and chat with me. Spin the wheel tonight for one round. I don't know how to do screen share on YouTube stream. And on top of that, I don't have the wheels ready. So Team Roulette, I have the wheel. I don't have the wheel yet for the other mini games. I have to set that up. So. And again, I would love to do the trivia on YouTube. It just is physically impossible with the limitations. Just want to say thank you for your hard work and the attention to detail involved in your videos. Thank you so much. Take care, all. Yes, take care to everyone. What's your opinion on Satterfield to Cincy? Laughable hire. Louisville wanted to get rid of him. Louisville wanted nothing to do with him. He had been regressing for the most part ever since his first year. I don't know why you ever hire a guy that's on the outs. Not because it was just time to move on, but because he wasn't doing a great job. I think Satterfield is a laughable hire. Do I answer all my emails? I mean, assuming they're not spam, yeah. I mean, I'm getting like weird spam emails from advertisers who want to do like crypto from Czechia or like random places in Asia and Europe. But if it's an actual email, yes, I respond to all my emails. Yes. I always am grateful when someone takes time out of their day to write me. I got some really nice emails the other day congratulating me for going full-time. Really, really means a lot. I can't believe the Bahamas Bowl's announcers try passing off today's game as the Bahamas Bowl. Yeah, the first one with the 7 lateral ending, nothing's stopping that. Nothing's stopping that. I remember where I was when that happened. Nothing's ever topping that. Lions-Panthers might be an important game on Christmas Eve. It could very well be. Never thought I'd say that at the start of the season. You could do a collab with Uchi since you're both Jags fans. I'm really bummed because the night I was on Dumpster Fire with 5 Point and Urinating Tree, the night I was on, Uchi couldn't make it. I was really bummed about that because I love Uchi. Obviously, great Jaguar, great offensive lineman. He is on my all-time Jaguars team. If I was building an offensive line for Jaguars all time, he'd be on there. Absolutely on there. So I would love to do some work with Uchi. He's great. I watched your video on Wittenberg and Baldwin Wallace last year. Yeah, the John Madden video. Yeah, that was a fun one to do. That was a fun one. And told my mom all about it. She was impressed because she went to Wittenberg. Oh, no kidding. No kidding. That's awesome. That's awesome. I can't imagine what that experience was like for the players, for people in that school that, hey, John Madden and Pat Summerall and the CBS crew are coming to watch and call one of our games. What about your solution when the schedule lands on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day? So I think if it's a situation like this year, there's nothing you can really do about it. Unfortunately, there's nothing you can really do about it. If it's a situation where Christmas falls on a trying to think what the play the Christmas Eve games on Saturday. I really wish that for the NFL. It will never happen. Christmas I don't have a problem with because they already do a good job in terms of you play the games Christmas Eve. Or no, that's what I mean. Okay. Let me recapture my thought. Let me drink some water and let me regroup my thoughts. All right. So for a situation like next year, I think if Christmas Eve falls on a Sunday, you should play all the games on the 23rd. That's what I would do. Play all the games on Saturday if Christmas Eve falls on a Sunday. And play the games, obviously. This year, there's nothing really you can do. I would also like this year, and you can't really do it, but it will never happen. I would love if college football played January 1st, no matter what, and the NFL would play the 2nd. And you just flip the two. What's your most favorite Jaguars moment you've had, JG9? Being in the stadium, 2017 Week 15 against Houston, we won 45-7, clinched a playoff spot for the first time in a decade. That was a surreal experience. Being in the stadium, the realization that, oh, this is actually happening. This isn't a dream. We're actually going to do this. I'll never forget that moment. And until we make the Super Bowl, nothing's stopping that. Nothing will ever top that. Should the Hawks have tried an onside kick after scoring the touchdown? Were their timeouts a factor? I don't have a problem kicking off deep. In that situation, you can get away with, as long as you don't allow 2 first downs. If they only need to allow 1 first down, I have a bit of a problem with it. But 2 first downs, I have no problem with it. Defense has to make a stop, and they couldn't. Pats v. Bengals will be on Xmas Day morning New Zealand time for me. That's gonna be weird. That is gonna be weird. Christmas morning football. That's gonna be weird. Is there any Raiders fan that's big on NFL YouTube community? I'm trying to think of one on the top of my head. I'm not sure. Blackouts were done, but I wasn't alive in the 70s. Just imagine being a football fan in the 70s in New York, where there were no double headers if you had a there were no double headers and they had to show the game of the teams involved. So you got the Giants and the Jets every week, who were terrible. Every year in the 70s, they were awful for the most part. And you got them every week, and those are the only games you got, except for Monday Night Football, for the most part. I mean, that would have been terrible. Do you think Purdy is the real deal, or do you think he's a fluke? I don't think he's a fluke. I don't know if he's the real deal. He's making all the right throws. I will say that. The thing with Purdy is that all he has to do is not make any mistakes. This Niners team has so many playmakers, and the coaching is really good, and their defense is phenomenal, that as long as Purdy doesn't do anything stupid, you're fine. And I think he's perfect for that team in that regard. He's making the right plays. He makes some nice throws when he has to. He doesn't miss any easy throws. I mean, I don't want to say he's the real deal yet just because we need more film on him, and teams will eventually pick up on his deficiencies and they'll work around it. But, I mean, he's playing well right now. He's absolutely playing well right now. Imagine starting 1-6 and somehow ending the season 10-7. That would be incredible for the Lions if they did that. That would be incredible. I forgot how I discovered you, but since then I've been hooked to your channel. I always look forward to what you come up with in the future. Thank you so much. Honestly, I don't even know what I'm coming up with in the future. Like, I know what tomorrow's video is going to be on. I have no idea what the other ones are going to be on. It'll be very interesting. Giants have been overrated all season. They've trailed going to the fourth quarter of every game except for the Houston game. Yeah, that's a team that their luck has come up to them. Daniel Jones has regressed a bit. His pocket presence is regressing to what it used to be instead of what it was at the start of the season. It'll be interesting to see what happens because I like Dable. I really like Brian Dable. I like the job he's doing, but they're in trouble. Let's see. My request for the baseball video is in defense of Joe Madden in Game 7 against Cleveland. Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one. I know my first dumb decisions video for baseball. I know that. The first one is going to be Tony La Russa with the White Sox last year. 2 strikes. Yeah, let's walk him. Let's load the bases. Let's walk him. 2 strikes. That is going to be Tony La Russa for the, like, if I had a baseball channel this year, Tony La Russa would have been my Urban Meyer. And I really like Tony La Russa with the Cardinals, obviously. But, oh, my God, he was so bad with the White Sox. He was so bad. You might need a microphone soon. Yeah, so definitely that is part of the studio setup. So when I get the new studio this offseason, hopefully around April, no promises, but hopefully around April, we're getting a whole new setup. We're getting a new computer, a desktop. Right now I'm on my laptop, my 13-inch MacBook Pro, where it doesn't have the capability to do a lot of advanced stuff. So we're getting a desktop. We're getting an all new microphone setup. We're gonna change a lot. That's the next step. I like the longer videos because it allows you to get more detail for the story you're telling. Thank you so much. Plus, the other thing with the longer videos is that I don't know how YouTube works in the sense that I don't know who's watching. And sometimes you need the longer videos because you don't know who is what's the word? What you don't know how advanced necessarily the football fan watching is, or if they're even into football. Because I know a lot of people, they weren't into football and they clicked on my video because it seemed interesting. So you want to provide as much context as possible. If I have a feeling a video is going to do very well and expand outside of the community we built here, I'll put in some more context just because. But it depends. It depends. What are your thoughts on the recent major changes of the NFL play-by-play announcer pairings? I think one of the most underrated changes that no one's talking about, that completely was a terrible move, was they broke up the pairing of Spiro and Adam Archuleta. I didn't think they were great together, but I'll say this much. Spiro and Jay and Greg Gumbel and Adam Archuleta, you now have 2 horrible pairings. Spiro and Adam, they were starting to have some pretty good chemistry. And then they split them up last year. Greg Gumbel has lost 10,000 steps. He is not what he once was. Jay Feely is not a good color commentator. You now have 2 really bad pairings on CBS's end. I think the next move, if Gumbel doesn't retire, I really need Catalan and Lofton to get promoted to the next tier and Gumbel to be demoted if he doesn't retire. Because right now, Gumbel is the 4 team because it's It's Nance and Romo on the 1. It's Ian Eagle and Charles Davis on the 2. It's Kevin Harlan and Rich on the 3. It's Greg and Adam on the 4. And it should be Andrew and James on the 4. It should be that. Stoppage time allotments were terrible this year. I thought they were fine. I honestly like the fact that you can't time waste. I will say with the stoppage time, they needed to be more consistent in the sense that they added a lot in the group stages, but not a lot of the knockout stages. And I don't know why that was the case. But I do like having more stoppage time. You can't time waste. I like that. I saw you went to ASU for law school. Go Devils. Forks up. Forks up. Thank you so much. I will miss your videos. Greens from Mexico. Thank you so much. I'm not sure what I will miss your videos means. I'm not going anywhere. The announcement was that I'm going full time. I'm not going anywhere. But thank you so much. Yeah, I'm not going anywhere. These videos are here to stay. This is not a goodbye. This is a beginning. It's a beginning. They had Jim Harbaugh right there, yet Mark Davis continues to make the dumbest hire. Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know what you saw McDaniels. That's the thing. If you like Hackett, I didn't agree with the hire because he was not good in Jacksonville, but okay, give him a shot. Give him a shot. McDaniels, I mean, the guy was bad in Denver the first time. You got a firsthand experience being in that division. He screwed over Indy. He should have been blackballed right then and there. His success on offense without Brady has been minimal at best. Why are you hiring him? Idea for a video, Raiders 49ers preseason in 2011 at Candlestick Park. Yes, I remember that one. They canceled they ended the rivalry because of it. They ended the rivalry for a long time because of it. I think someone put out a video the other day on the preseason game, the rivalry that got banned. Someone put out a video the other day. So I'm not sure I could add anything that wasn't said in that one, but I remember that. That was a crazy moment. I'm a Gators fan as well. Do you think the program will ever return to elite status? I don't see why not. I like what Billy's doing. He's doing a great job on the recruiting trail right now. He's doing a phenomenal job on the recruiting trail. Look, you're in a great state for college football. You have a great fan base. You're in a great college town. I don't see why you can't return to elite status. Look, Tennessee was in the dumps this time 2 years ago, and look at them now. Florida is a team you can definitely return to elite. Definitely. Yeah, closest college team to doesn't Army count? Oh yeah, Army does count. Army does count. But in terms of what gets coverage in the papers, we didn't get Army coverage. We did not get Army coverage whatsoever. That two-shot game reminds me of the disgrace of Hidon. Yeah, the 82 World Cup. That's why I don't want them doing the group stages 3 teams instead of 4. I don't want them doing that for that exact reason. The difference was that they were trying. They were actually trying to score. They were just so bad. It was the very first soccer game I ever called, and it was, oh God, it was brutal. Or no, it was the first women's soccer game I called. The third game I ever called, because I called a men's soccer game before and a volleyball game before. Congrats, man. I started watching fairly recently, but I love the content you put in. Great work. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I really want to see a video on the 2001 Bears and their back-to-back miracle wins against Cleveland and San Fran. I've thought about that one for a while. I've thought about that one. The same play in overtime. Crazy stuff. I've definitely thought about doing a video on that. If the Jags make it to the playoffs, I don't even know what I would do. Really, I don't know what I would do. I can't imagine someone watching Rutgers unless they're a Pats fan trying to scout out who Belichick is going to take next. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in, Steeler fan. But it's funny when I started following college football, Rutgers was actually pretty good with Greg Schiano. So I easily could have become a Rutgers fan. If I want to stay local, I easily could have done Rutgers because they were actually kind of fun to watch. One of the first years I started watching college football, they were in talks to make the Natty, which seems crazy now. Louisville's always good at women's volleyball. That is true. Shame on them for sucking so hard at men's basketball. They got to win the other night, though. Western Kentucky got to win finally. Finally got to win. Was it 1-9? Nick Bose's comments at the end of the was his "I'm just here so I won't get fined" moment. Yeah, that was a horrible roughing the passer call. Horrible roughing the passer call. It's going to be Ravens Bengals. We'll find out by the end of week 16 at the earliest. They won't announce anything until week 17. The end of week 17, they'll announce it. Have you been to an NFL game in person as a fan and not as an announcer? Oh, so many games. Yes. I was at the other one on Monday night when the Cardinals played the Patriots. But I've been to 50, I think. I want to say 50 Jaguars games. It's a lot. It's a lot of Jags games. Fox Soccer Channel televised the Premier League before NBC. Yes, they did. But they didn't televise a lot. They televised like one game a week, maybe two. It was not a lot. I started following the Premier League when Fox Soccer Channel got the rights to it. I never adopted a club from that league, though. It's a lot of stress. It's kind of better to just watch it as a neutral. I'm not going to lie, but the highs are so high. Like Fulham, when we it wasn't the Premier League, but when we got promoted against Brentford in the playoff, the Joe Bryan free kick. I will never forget where I was when he made that free kick. What do you think about Jordan Love? I think the Packers need to start him. I think they need to start him right now. I don't think he's that good. Don't get me wrong. I don't think he's that good. I said after the draft, and I have the evidence, the archives to prove it. I said that Tyler Huntley would be better than Jordan Love. An undrafted guy would be better than a first-round pick. But you have to know what you have in him. You have to know what you have in him. Rodgers is not the guy going forward. He's going to be 40 next year. I'm not sure how much left he has left in the tank. Jordan Love, you have to know what to do with that fifth-year option. You have to play him. If you don't play him, you're going into his final year of his deal not knowing what to do. And when you're on a rookie contract with a quarterback, that's the time you got to strike. Because that's when it's the easiest. Oh, we have $5 from Samuel Martinez. Thank you so much. The Mike Goldberg video quickly became one of your most popular videos so far, and that was released 5 days ago. It was right away one of my favorite videos. That was a fun one to do. So funny story about the Mike Goldberg video. And then I'll get back to the Jordan Love thing. Funny story about the Mike Goldberg video. I wanted to do that one for a while. And that was requested for a while. And I said, I'm going to save it until December. And the reason I'm going to save it until December was, one, the Lions are playing the Vikings. So let's save it for that. The other reason, full transparency, ad rates are at their highest in December. So I was like, you know what? Let's save it for that time of year. And that's planning ahead. That was such a good decision on my part. Because that was a fun one. It was such an obvious video to do too. When you see the story, you're like, oh, this was such a train wreck. Especially with all the other announcing and broadcasting videos I've done, because those are my favorite videos to do. My favorite videos by far are the broadcasting, the announcing videos, because that's where my background was. I took a class as a senior in college on the history of electronic media, and I was just fascinated by that class. And I'm like, you know what? That is, if I could integrate that into the NFL, that would be awesome. So that was a fun video to put together. And I'm happy with how that came out. And a lot of you are too. And that was the fastest a video ever got to 100,000 views. 5 days it took. And we were still climbing. Thank you. Thank you so much. But Premier League, where was I with Premier League? No, not Premier League. Jordan Love. So Jordan Love, you strike best when your quarterback is on a rookie contract, because you don't tie as much money into him. And that's the position you're spending the most money on most of the time. So you have to know what you have in him. If not, you just wasted a pick. You have to know if he's the guy, because Rodgers is not the guy going forward. He's going to be 40 next year. He's declining. The biggest issues with third place teams making the knockout round in the World Cup or recently the Euros is the matchups are largely fixated regardless of on-field performance. It's not. He doesn't mean fixed, John. He doesn't mean fixed. It's fixated in the sense that you could be a first place team, you play really well, you play a second place team that played well, versus you could be a first place team that did not play well and play a third place team. It's fixated in terms of the brackets. It's not rearranged by points scored or goal differential or points. It's fixated at the start. So, yeah, I agree with that. We need Russ to take a minute. Thank you so much. Yeah, absolutely. Will do. Well, we have a lot of comments. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Let me see it. Lost my place. Here we go. Hello from California. Hello, no. Hello, no. Thank you so much for tuning in. Do you watch NBA basketball too? Yes, I do. I'm a big Phoenix Suns fan. I go to a lot of games there. Love watching the Suns play. Favorite NBA team? Yeah, they're the Suns. They're the Suns. Not a bandwagon fan. Just I live in Phoenix, so they're my team. Speaking of Twitch, have you thought of planning to do live streams on a near daily basis? Not sure about near daily, but I've definitely thought about doing streams. Um, definitely thought about doing streams. For sure. Question: how are my videos so good? Thank you so much. It's really subjective, but thank you so much. Thank you so much. Holy smokes! I just started watching back in 2020. Just never remember the sub number. Yeah, it was back in 2020. The start of 2020, we didn't have 1,000 yet. We didn't even have 1,000, and now look at us. Now look at us. Crazy. I love how you find interesting, hidden, and cool stories to tell. The research must be an insane process. No idea where you find them all. Just a lot of digging through newspaper archives. A lot of digging through the archives. Oh, $5 from Nikki C. Thank you so much. And good to see you again after being in the Twitch streams for so long. Bryce Young and Will Anderson are expected to play for Alabama in the Sugar Bowl. Does that mean Alabama beats Kansas State? I think they do. Yeah, I think they do. I had them winning by 17, I think. Yeah, I think Bama wins out of Bryce Young's playing. Do I do NHL? Not really. No, I don't have a favorite NHL team. I love watching hockey, but I don't have a favorite team. Next year, Trevor should definitely be good. He's good right now. So next year he'll be even better, especially with Calvin Ridley. Another year in the offense, he'll be good. If you can make a Trevor Lawrence wave t-shirt, not sure I have the rights to that. Is Mahomes the front runner for the MVP? I think right now Jalen Hurts. I would have said so before last week, but after his 3-pick game against Denver and with the way Hurts is playing, I think Hurts is the favorite. Am I a pro wrestling fan? Not a huge pro wrestling fan. I do know the Con Zone AEW. I know they're doing a pretty good job from everything I can tell. Not a huge pro wrestling fan, though. Seems like the QBs from the 2021 draft are finally starting to play well if they're not playing well at the beginning of the year. I mean, 2 of them, Trevor and Justin. But the other ones, I mean, Zach Wilson's looking terrible. Mac Jones is not improving at all. Trey Lance is, I mean, obviously he didn't play this year, really, but Trey Lance. Trevor Lawrence is still a rookie in my eyes. Last year didn't count because of Urban. Yeah, I would say so too. Usually I'm in the belief that you can't make excuses for guys because guys are like, everyone's got their problems. Everyone's got their troubles. If you need to be in a perfect situation, it's not a good thing. Like I hate when people say, oh, he didn't have this, and this. If he had this, if he had a coach that knew what he's doing, if he had that, he'd be good. I hate when people say that. Urban is the exception to the rule because he didn't know the names of players on his own team or players on the other team. He's the exception to the rule. As a Titans fan, I hate that Lawrence is good, but as a JG9 fan, I'm happy for you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. One suggestion I have would be to find new words to say we need some context. Isn't context implied? I guess to some extent it is. I guess it's just a way of saying I'm not going to get into this right away. I'm just going to give some background information beforehand so you know where I'm going with this. Plus, I think we need some context has caught on, and like I can't imagine not saying anything else at this point. I haven't merged with it for right now. NHL planning to go to an 84-game schedule. Really? How would that work? I know with 32 teams. How would 84 work? I think you need less regular season games, not more. You don't need to dilute the regular season more than it is. We need a major winning streak for the Jags to make it. We don't really need that. So the scenario is all that we have to do is be within 1 game of the Titans going into the final game of the season. That's all we have to do. So the Jags just have to win 2 out of 3, and the Titans have to win 1 out of 3. The Titans play the Chargers, the Texans, and the Cowboys. So I'm assuming they'll beat the Texans. But you lose to the Chargers, you lose to the Cowboys. Jags have to win 2 out of 3. Jets, Texans, Cowboys. It's doable. You just need a 2-game winning streak. What was the first NFL game I announced? Oh, I've never announced any NFL games. I announced games for my college. I've never announced an NFL game. Never in my life. I've announced college games in a bunch of sports, but I've never announced an NFL game. I watch every game as a fan. I don't work games. I watch the Jaguars as a fan. I've never missed a Jaguars game. So So Lightning fan, let's do a video on that. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not really super well versed into hockey right now. Not really super well versed. I like watching it, but I'm not really huge. Not really huge on the history and the players so far. I saw a post on the Bengals subreddit titled "Petition to Re-Sign Vontaze Burfict for the game against the Browns." Oh my! No comment on that. No comment on that. The end of regulation in the Argentina and Netherlands game was insane. Yes, it was. The referee lost complete control of the match. Complete control of the match in that one. That was the fact that Argentina wasn't sent down to 10 for the challenge and then for kicking it at the Netherlands bench. Who is the player in the picture frame behind you? That's a stock image. That's a stock image. I mean, the helmet looks like a dolphin, but the number is not Marino's number. I'm guessing it would try to emulate Marino, but it's a stock image. It's just a motivational photo. Again, it is a complete. This is not my regular location. The draft is in the spring, nice time of the year. Yes, it is. The USFL is on that time of year as well, and the XFL now. Looking forward to that. Would you do a watch party for the Jags if they made the playoffs? I'm not going to stream any games, but I would definitely do like a celebration stream if the Jags made it. I definitely do it. Have I ever been to the draft? Many times. I went in 2012 at Radio City, 2014, 2015 in Chicago. Went to 2019 in Nashville, 21 in Cleveland, this past one in Vegas. If so, what should I expect when I go in the spring because I'm a Chiefs fan who lives in Kansas City? I don't know how they're going to set the stage up. That's the thing. I can't really say what to expect because they're not going to set it up. They haven't announced the layout yet. But I would say this. Expect a lot of activities around the area. Expect, if you want to get a good spot, arrive early for sure. Because the barricade fills up very, very fast. And just expect to have a great time. The NFL draft is a blast. It's not really about the draft anymore. It's just a giant party. It is awesome. Goodell did such a good job with moving the draft around and turning it into the spectacle that it is. Cowboys are going to sign Odell Beckham Jr. anyways. That whole saga just needs to be done already. That whole saga is just... He's good, but he's not that good to the sense where... in the sense that he warrants this season-long saga. Like Deion Sanders back in the mid-90s when he was doing his free agency tour, at least he was good enough to warrant that. Not a guy coming off a torn ACL who's been declining every year since his rookie year. Good player, don't get me wrong, but just make up your mind already. I'll have to watch this later, but I just want to tell you, or watch this later, but I just want to jump in to congratulate you, tell you that you're a boss, and hope you get to sit in the Cons box of the Super Bowl one day. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Really, really means a lot. Really, really means a lot. You're a big Florida State fan. Ooh. Okay, I don't have anything against Florida State. It's really Georgia and Tennessee, but FSU, you're okay with me. You're okay. Celebrate the Jaguars by wearing the Jacksonville mascot costume. I would probably die if I did that. I'd probably pass out. The circulation would not be good. Can I do a video on the Jaguars Santa hat on the logo back in the day? One of my all-time favorite logos. I would buy any Jags Santa hat merch that they sold. They don't sell it. I would buy it in a heartbeat. I would love to do a video on that. If I can find some stuff on the history of it and why they got rid of it, I would love to do a video on the Santa hat because that is an iconic logo, and I wish we brought it back. Oh, you have the dry poster behind me too. Oh, nice. It's been there forever. At least for us 20 years it's been there. Yeah, so the Cons box, yeah, I did have a chance to meet Shah Khan before. I have met Khan before. This was before he was the owner of the team, so he didn't have a place in Jacksonville yet, but he was at the hotel that I was staying at for Jaguars Colts Week 17, 2011. He met him at the hotel gym. He was working out. And he just happened to be working out when I was working out. Super nice guy. Though I don't agree with a lot of what he's done, but super, super nice guy. Honestly, that dumb decisions on Doug Peterson regarding not challenging a play is current favorite of mine because that was pure emotion. Yeah, that was a tough one to do. You can tell when a Jaguars video comes is very emotional. You could tell. The Urban Meyer video, the Doug Peterson video, pure emotion. Pure emotion. If the Commanders weren't owned by Dan Snyder, I'd be cheering for them. Me too. Me too. Ron Rivera is an extremely likable guy. Defense is fun to watch. Plus, Heineke, yes. I can't hate Heineke. Can't hate Rivera for everything he's been through, especially. I just don't like Snyder, but I don't have a favorite video. Picking my favorite JG9 is like picking my favorite child. But Reggie Rucker comes close with that Eagles to Arizona video. The Reggie Rucker video, that was a weird one for me because that video, let me just take a quick sip. We've been for 2 hours now. Wow. So the Reggie Rucker video, I was coming back from somewhere one night. And it was like 12:30 in the morning. It was super late. And I thought, okay, I can go to bed right now or I can finish this video. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to finish the video. I'm going to finish. Why not? So I finished the video and I published it. And what happens is that I schedule the videos while I'm asleep. So I have no clue how it's doing when I wake up. No clue. And then I wake up and I see it's already at 20,000 views. And I'm like, wait, are you sure it's not 2,000? It's 20,000? That was a game-changing moment for the channel. There are a few moments that are like, okay, this is a game changer. That was the moment I knew, okay, announcing videos, there might be something there. That could be the area you really dive into. So I did it again and again, and people kept loving it. And people love the announcing and the broadcasting videos. I'm like, yeah, okay. It's good because that's my favorite kind of video to do. You guys love it, so we're going to keep doing it. And it's just been going ever since. What makes me do so many dumb decisions videos? Coaches are really, really stupid. It gives me an avenue to talk about the games this week and provide an insight and an angle that people don't really cover and my own unique spin on it. Like how Urinating Tree has This Week in Sports Ball, how Barry has his NFL reviews. It gives me my own little area to carve out into. But coaches have just made some bad moves this year with clock management. I don't want to force any dumb decisions videos. It's just so many of them have happened this year where coaches don't know what timeout management is or don't know how to call a play or don't know how to manage the clock. It's terrible. If you had to be real, do the Steelers have a chance to make the playoffs? Oh, playoffs. Don't talk about playoffs. There's something that can win a game. The Steelers making the playoffs? No. Do a story on Leonard Toes of the Eagles. I love how you spelled that Leonard Toast. I love that. But I've done some Leonard Toes videos. I did one on the he was a weird guy. He was a weird guy. The Eagles to Phoenix video was a Leonard Toes video. There are some crazy stories with him, especially at the very end of his tenure. $5 from Ben Falk, thank you so much. Game 7, Mavericks Suns, game for the ages. Oh, jeez. Lindsay Jacobel's got a 39.6 in 2006 for specking herself into the snow before the finish line. Mavs, I was at that game. That was the worst game I was ever in my life. Any sport. I was at that game. Man. Mavs Suns, game 7. I will never live that down. Terrible game. Nathaniel Hackett is Mr. Dumb Decisions this year. If I ever had a logo for Dumb Decisions that was a silhouette of a guy, it would just be Hackett's silhouette. Congrats on going full-time. Thank you so much. I love your video on the TV station who showed the tape-delayed high school football game. That might be my favorite bait and switch ever. That might be my favorite one. My favorite bait and switch ever was maybe the bingo long, but number 2 was the high school football game where I was okay, I don't agree with the decision, but I get it. You made a commitment. These kids, they want to play on national TV. The strike wasn't like it was still going all the time. I get it. So let's read up about the game. Let's read up that this happened, that the game already happened, and this team won. I'm like, wait, what? What? This makes no sense. I'm like, oh, wow, this game was tape delayed. And as soon as I knew that, I was like, okay, this is the video. And I know exactly how I want to do this. And the amount of comments I got on that video for people saying, oh, you're being way too critical. They made the right decision. Like you can't deny those kids that opportunity. They made the right decision. And then they edited their comment 5 minutes later and was like, oh, wait, I didn't finish the video. Like, oh, wow. That was Yeah, no, you weren't kidding. That is really one of the stupidest things I've ever seen in my life. How many comments I got of people just editing their comments from that? That was hysterical. I love reading those. Hackett could keep his job if they play how they did the last week in the final 4 games. I don't think so. I don't think they can. Just because you have a new owner. And I don't think the new owner has no ties to Hackett. He's going to want to start clean. He has the money to do so. When you buy a franchise for $3 billion and you have Walmart money, you clean house, you bring in your guys. Hackett's not coming back. I don't watch football as much as I once did, but I still like your channel. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. This is the first time I've seen that Discord link in your About page. Is that just a random server you link to? Someone set that up for me, and I said, look, I have no idea how to use Discord. I don't really use it. So if you want to set it up and run it, be my guest. And they said, okay, and I just linked it. I haven't checked it. I have not checked it. Why is my voice so high pitched? I am a tenor. So I do have a very high singing voice. I will say that. I must say, to see the youth love the history of the NFL, I commend you. In 1988, I discovered the NFL and fell in love with the history. Thank you so much. Yeah, it always amazes me when people, I always love when people older than me comment on the videos and say, oh, I remember this game. I was a fan at the time. I don't even remember this story. This is awesome. And then people that are younger than me saying, I got into NFL history because of you. It's awesome. It's awesome. I'm surprised you hadn't done a story on when one coach had sadly turned his back on an NFL team over joining a college football team. Yeah, I've got some coaching videos in the works. They have this Chihuahua doing tricks at the halftime of the Wolves Thunder game, and now he wanted Chihuahua. They did a dog race for one of the half times of the Suns game once, and the dogs did not know where the finish line was, and they kept going in the wrong direction. It was really weird. We're collaborating with Hubfrog. I'll be down to do collaborations with anyone. Anyone has a good idea and they want to collab, I'm totally down for collaborations. From a depressed Rams fan whose team's biggest highlight was Baker beating the Raiders. Congrats on becoming full-time. Love the vids. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Means a lot. Means a lot. At least you got a Super Bowl out of it. At least you got a Super Bowl. Congratulations. I just subscribed on Patreon. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. I'm just checking really quickly. I'm sorry. Yeah, so when are the Mark Brunell videos coming? I do want to do more Jaguars content. The problem is that it's tough to find footage from 90s Jaguars games and early 2000s Jaguars games, and it's a bit I'm not sure how many unique stuff has happened necessarily, but Mark Brunell is a great player, and I would love to do some videos on him. Your opening statements beginning with "Welcome to Dumb Decisions" with the with the lawyer thing. Yeah, I don't want to see Mike Goldberg in a play-by-play call ever. Well, fortunately, you don't have to because that was a one-time thing. $5 from Samuel Martinez. Thank you so much. About dumb decisions. I remember being mad at Shanahan not calling a timeout near the end of the second quarter versus the Chiefs in Super Bowl 54. Maybe a dumb decisions video. Maybe. That's one of those things where a lot of people have talked about that. I'm not sure what angle I could come up with, but it's a possibility. It's a possibility. Thoughts on the Saints? As a Saints fan, I don't even want Dennis Allen as a defensive coordinator. He has completely ruined his reputation. Well, you can't go back to a defensive coordinator. It has never worked out when a head coach goes back to his previous job. It doesn't work. There's a power struggle. Saints, they're in trouble. Dennis Allen is not a good head coach. They should fire him after 1 year. He was not good in Oakland. He is not good now. He does not know how to manage a clock. He has made some horrible moves that I've talked about in previous videos. The Cardinals game, he mismanaged the end of that one. The whole clock management against the Bucs was terrible. Yeah, he's in trouble. And the Saints are in trouble. They don't have a first-round pick. I host several history groups of the NFL on Facebook. I've learned a lot more than I ever thought I could between the members of my group and your videos. Thank you so much. I might be in some of those groups. I might be in some of them because I am in some history groups on Facebook. Just streaming, just lurking. So 6 years later, and Tony Romo is still killing it. Yes, he is. So one question on those Twitch streams: can people go just to hang out and talk? The NFL trivia one. Yes. Yeah, we have tons of people that don't play, but they just hang out and they talk and they chat, and I respond. It's kind of like this, except I'm asking questions in between, and you click the right answer. And I'm hosting a game, but I'm still answering questions. And there are dedicated Q&A sessions during the Twitch streams. So yeah, the Twitch streams are a ton of fun. You don't have to necessarily play or be good at trivia. or anything like that to hop in. It's basically like a Q&A, except we play trivia in between. It's awesome. It's awesome. Browns, Lions, Texans, Jaguars. Which of these 4 teams who have never made a Super Bowl will make it first? I want to say the Jags just because quarterback. At the end of the day, it comes down to who your quarterback is. And the Jaguars have their guy. The Browns, I don't know if they have their guy. Watson has not looked good. Granted, he hasn't played in a while. And I don't like the guy for obvious reasons. But he has not looked sharp in preseason or now. Lions, I mean, I like what they're doing a lot. I really do. But is Goff a one-year thing, or is he the guy? And Texans, obviously, they have no one right now. Jaguars have their franchise guy. So I would say Jaguars. Crazier quarterback. Crazier carousel. Browns quarterbacks are Megadeth members not named Dave. Browns quarterbacks, I mean, you could do a whole, we didn't start the fire on it. I mean, the jersey runs out. There aren't enough nameplates on the jersey. Favorite football announcer tandem ever? I hate to be cliche. Matt and Summerall was classic. I hate to be cliche, but it is. Congrats to on YouTube career. Proud of you. Excited for the future. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Tony Romo, love his friendship with Jim Nantz. Yes. They have great chemistry together. You can tell. You can tell Nantz by the end of his time with Phil Simms was getting a bit agitated. Couldn't really feed off of him as much as he used to. With Romo, it's like he's rejuvenated. It's awesome. There's a story that all football service academy players will be barred from all sports until they serve their required services. Your thoughts? I mean, look, at the end of the day, you made a commitment to, that's the whole point of why you came, is that you would get to, you then serve, you get your college pay for 4 years and then you go serve. So I don't have a problem with that. It stinks for some guys that are obviously good in sports, but that's what you sign up for. You made a commitment. As bad as Al Michaels has gone, he will never be as bad as Mike Goldberg. Look, Michaels at 20%, which is what he is at right now, is leagues better than Mike Goldberg ever was. Breeze wasn't great as a media guy, but his hairline should have been named Comeback Player of the Year. Enjoy your child. Keep up the great work. Thank you, SARS694. Thank you so much. Congrats. Thank you so much, Rudy. What are your thoughts on the Panthers making the playoffs? With that division, I think it's possible. I'm still going with the Bucks. But look, Steve Wilkes has done a better job than I thought he would. Sam Darnold's looking all right. The defense is playing much better. Panthers right now are playing like the best team in the South. I just think it's too little too late. The only moment that Al Michaels got excited was during the Rams' final drive against the Raiders. I mean, to be fair, Thursday Night Football has been a train wreck this year, so I don't blame him for only getting excited for that. If he didn't get excited for that one, I don't know what he would have gotten excited for. Tony is good, but he can sometimes be just dumb, like says every time the Titans want to play, he says, oh, it looks like a run play. Obviously, everything is a run play. I mean, when you have Derrick Henry, yes. I mean, you want to talk about one of the greatest announcing jobs ever, though. Patriots-Chiefs 2018 AFC Championship. Romo predicting every single play that the Patriots are going to run. The Chiefs couldn't stop it. That was one of the greatest announcing moments ever. All right. What is your opinion of a Joe Buck? I don't know anyone who likes him and feels he's only on the job because of his father. Look, Buck at the start was not that good. I'll admit, at the start, he was not that good. He's gotten way better. He's one of the top guys now. He's one of the best play-by-play guys in the league right now. He is way more relaxed. He is way more energetic than he used to be. He's a very good announcer right now. 10 years ago, maybe not so much, but he has gotten way better. What do you think about RG3 calling college games? I enjoy myself. Yeah, RG3 is good. RG3 is good. I like the energy he brings. An idea for a JG8 vid is Mike Leach's fake game plan versus Texas in the OU Texas game. That was a brilliant. I saw a Twitter video on that, though. I feel like that's already pretty well known. I was thinking for Mike Leach, what I could do if I ever wanted to do a video was the job originally wasn't offered to him for the Texas Tech job. It was originally offered to New Mexico State's head coach. And he turned it down, not because of the money, but because he loved what he was building at New Mexico State and didn't want to leave it. New Mexico State never made a bowl game under him. They never made a bowl game under him. They had 4 more seasons. They had a losing record in 3 of them. So they gave the job to Mike Leach. And the rest is history. It's crazy. Will the Vikings draft a QB in 2023? I don't think so. Maybe they draft one as a backup, but if you mean as a replacement to Cousins, no. They need defense right now. They need defense badly. What do you think about Zach Wilson starting this week because Mike White is hurt? I mean, you can't start Flacco. You have to give Wilson a second chance. You can't start Flacco. Truly the most important game involving the Jets and an injury to a quarterback's midsection. Can't think of any others. I'll tell you that much. Let's see. I saw someone wearing a Steelers Super Bowl 30 champion shirt yesterday. I would love to get some merchandise like that. I really would. Like a Jaguars Super Bowl 31, Super Bowl 34, Super Bowl 52 merch. I would buy that in a heartbeat. I would buy that fake merch easily. Is Ryan Succop the greatest Mr. Irrelevant of all time? The disrespect to Brock Purdy. I mean, Ryan Succop is. There right now it is Ryan Succop. Easily. The Seahawks were ranked 32nd. The fact that they even got 5 wins is great. Yes. Yeah, that's the thing with the Seahawks. Is that as disappointing. Same thing with the Giants. Yeah, it's kind of falling off the rails right now, but they exceeded expectations by a long shot, and we have to remember that. Which team is more miserable, the Saints or the Vikings? All right, well, one team doesn't have a future first-round pick. One team has a horrible head coach. One team has no shot at the playoffs. So, yeah, Saints. One of my favorite videos was how the CBS affiliate in Rochester showed a taped high school football game instead of an NFL game. I love that video, too. I really love doing that video. That's why I love your channel. You aren't going to talk on topics that are addressed too much. Yeah, that's one of the goals I have with this channel. Like, I don't want to do videos on stuff like the butt fumble or other crazy plays in NFL history that people know, like Scott Norwood's missed field goal or why Patrick Mahomes is great. I don't want to do that. I want to talk about videos that even NFL films wouldn't cover, that you have no knowledge of. And I didn't even know until that day. Like the video I'm doing tomorrow, I didn't know about until I got on stream 3 hours ago. I only started figuring out what I want to do the video on at 7:30. I stumbled across something. I was like, okay, wow, this is really cool. Let's do it. Let's do it. I love verbal contracts. Yes, I do. Verbal contracts are the way to go. Get nothing in writing. That's good lawyering number one. By that I mean do the exact opposite. I wonder if the Browns will return back to what they were during that surprise season of 2020, even after no longer having guys like Mayfield and Beckham. Yeah, I mean, Beckham didn't really do a whole lot for them, so he's not really a huge loss. Mayfield obviously was not great. It's really just a matter of, is Watson the guy? And I don't know. He has not looked good. I mean, granted, he is very rusty, but he did not look good in preseason. We played him in preseason. He couldn't hit a single throw. Just wildly inaccurate. He's looked bad the last 2 weeks. Hot take, Brock Purdy is the next Tom Brady, but greater. 10 times greater. Never commented on this channel until now. What is your all-time favorite video to make? Red Zone, but not counting that. A lot of the broadcasting videos. Eagles to Phoenix was a fun one to do. The Super Bowl 23 pregame show is probably my favorite. Have I ever considered addressing topics on team seasons where the record is a lie? Like the 2016 or 2019 Chargers who had double-digit losing records with so many blown leads. I've thought about doing that, like weird records. I've thought about doing that where the records make no sense. We'll see. Has a 1-6 team ever made the playoffs? Yes, Bengals, 1970. That is a video I want to do for sure. That is a video I absolutely want to do in the future. The Bengals in 1970 were 1-6, 14-game season, mind you, 14-game season. They ran the table. They won the Central. That was incredible. Greatest midseason turnaround ever. I want to do a video on that because no one's done a video on the 1970 Bengals, and I feel like that is a prime topic for taking. What's good, Jaguar? Not a whole lot, obviously. Hopefully everything's good by you, DT3. What's your story about getting into the NFL? Like, what was your first game? First game I ever went to was Jaguars Cowboys 06, week 1. Byron Leftwich against Drew Bledsoe. Jags won for 24-17. First game I ever watched was the Jets Chargers 04 wildcard game. And that was such a good game. And I was hooked ever since. Carolina's going to win the South and spite themselves. Again, I could see it. I think Tampa, I think it's too little too late right now for Carolina, but I could easily see it. My favorite Jaguar of all time, MJD. I guess Todd Bowles is one of those people who's a good coordinator, but not a good head coach. There are plenty of guys like that too. Gus Bradley, very good coordinator in Seattle. Terrible head coach. Todd Bowles, Kozlet, great offensive coordinator, really bad head coach. Wade Phillips, not a great head coach, really good defensive coordinator. Dick LeBeau, awful head coach, but Hall of Fame defensive coordinator. Yeah, Saints 2017 draft class is great. Cowboys rookie class has been very good for them. Congrats on the news. I love your channel digging into lesser known facts and events. Love it, man. Keep it up. Thank you so much. Hey, Gina. Oh, Footster. Hey, how's it going? How's it going? Just want to congratulate you on passing law school. Having you on the channel for an interview back in the summer remains one of my favorite videos on the channel. Keep up the amazing job. Thank you so much. That was a fun video to do. That was a fun interview. That was really good. I did a video. Floodster interviewed me back on his channel. So if you want to check that out, go check out his channel. Really, really good interview. He's a Jaguars fan too, which is awesome. Best class ever. We're going to have to disagree. Buccaneers drafted 2 Hall of Famers in the first round. Steelers got 4 and 1 draft in the 70s. We were just talking about recent. We were just talking recent memory. So, like last 10 years. Obviously, all time. And Steelers 74 is the winner. Which is easily the worst commercial of 2022. Oh, geez. I have to pick. My pick is easily BK. I have to pick. Man. Oh, man. I have to pick a commercial. The Old Navy ones are pretty bad. T-Mobile ones are pretty bad. I don't know the worst. I guess BK because of how annoyingly catchy it is. I would say BK. With Japanese TV being notorious for copyright strikes, did you have any issues with Gaora overusing that footage for one of those videos during the Bush Gore? No, never. Never had an issue with that. I know Japanese TV, there's a lot of copyright stuff. I've never had an issue with that. Probably because it's NFL footage. So it's not owned by the Japanese station. The copyright's owned by the NFL. You made a video and wondered if there was a game where Holmes fans cheer for the opposing team. Yeah, the Buccaneers-Raiders game in 04 when Tim Brown caught his 100th touchdown. It happened in 85 also. Oh, I did not know this. The Chiefs rocked the Saints and late in the game, Saints fans started cheering for KC. I did not know that. Wow. I'll have to check that out. Do you play Madden at all? I used to play a lot. And now I play like time to time. But I used to play all the time. But older 2000 Maddens were great. Madden 04, I played that like crazy growing up. Steve Young's post-Super Bowl speech was iconic. Yes, it was. Absolutely. Do I gamble on the games? Yes. Yes, I do. I do place some responsible bets on games. I also like to bet against the Jaguars. So either way, I come out on top. Either I'm really happy or I make some money. I hope that I lose money. But if they lose, I at least turn up better. But I do gamble. Yes. Responsibly, of course. Do I have any NFL hot takes? Mine is that Steve Young in his prime was better than Joe Montana in his prime. Ooh. I mean, I have hot takes. Do I have any NFL hot takes? Try to think of like a good one off the top of my head, like historically. A good hot take. Historically speaking, I know Norm Snead gets a lot of love. I think Norm Snead was absolutely terrible. Norm Snead was an absolutely terrible, terrible quarterback. So I think that would probably be my hot take if I had one. All right, let's see what else is happening. I'm leaving the chat now. Congratulations and thank you for all that you do. Thank you so much, C2, man. Thank you for all the love. Congrats, JG9's Seahawks fan here from the Pacific Northwest. Thought though they surprisingly started 6-3, now they lost 4 out of 5, but their future looks bright. What's your opinion on the Seahawks? I mean, I don't think they're going to do anything this year. I think they're slumping. I think the line is going to overtake them for the final spot. But look, future is bright. You have the number 2 pick. If Geno's the guy, you can trade that pick for a king's ransom. You can trade that for a lot and build that way. I think you should. So future is definitely bright. Way brighter than I thought it would be 4 months ago. Just popping in to wish you the best of luck and to say thanks for all the great videos. Thank you so much, Tom. Can't wait for your Super Bowl recap when the Eagles win this year. Oh, I mean, Jaguars are going to win it all, but Eagles are looking good. Eagles are looking very, very good. Very, very good. My pick is still the Bills. My pick from the start of the season was the Bills. I'm not changing it, but Eagles have a shot for sure. As a Louisville fan, Satterfield is the definition of mid. Agreed. He is not that good. Thank you for not only your superb content, but also for going all in. Thank you so much. Do you plan to talk about the 1975 Patriots-Bengals game that wasn't shown at all during the World or due to the World Series? Absolutely. Look, if there's a crazy broadcasting story, I'm going to get to it. Patriots-Bengals 75 is up there with some of them. Do you agree with me on this that the River City Relay is a top 10 play of all time? In terms of craziness, yes, absolutely. We've never seen, Miami Miracle, or Miracle in Miami, but besides that, we've never seen anything like that before. We have never seen anything like that before. So, what do you think should be the maximum amount of teams for the college football playoff? Well, you're going to have, 11 FBS conferences? So you let all the champions in, and you put in 9 at-larges. I think 20. I think 20 would be the max I would go. Came in late because I just saw the new Avatar movie. Save your $11. Ooh, wow. I've not seen the new Avatar. I've not even seen the first Avatar. I got to check that out. I'm assuming the visuals are stunning, but the story is lacking, if the reviews are anything to go off of. I feel like Avatar, if you like the first one, I haven't heard anyone that liked the first one that didn't like the second one, from what I've seen so far. My family loves the Christmas games because there's something to watch and don't have to talk to each other. That's why the NFL put games on Thanksgiving. Love your videos, man. I learned a lot of NFL history that probably not even diehard fans know about. Thank you so much. What is your favorite Patriots-Raiders matchup of all time? Mine's the Tuck Rule game. That was it's a basic answer, but I would probably say Tuck Rule. I'd probably say Tuck Rule. Do you think the Patriots will win on Sunday? With the way their defense is playing? Yeah, I think so. I think Patriots win. January 2nd is my birthday. I'd be down for some NFL birthday. Happy early birthday. I never like when the Jaguars play on my birthday. Fortunately, it's never happened because I have a summer birthday, but I don't like the fact that my birthday can get ruined by my team losing. But January 2nd, football, that's a pretty good way to spend your birthday. Tough Frog. Oh, I didn't answer the question about Tough Frog. Yeah, Tough Frog. I would love to collab with him. In defensive cash pulling Snell. Oh, I don't know about that. I can't defend it. He was on a low pitch count too. I get what the analytics say. I get that it got you to that point, but you don't pull your ace in that spot. Who I think will win the Super Bowl? Bills. Spiro Dinas is the ultimate Tank Bowl announcer. He's up there. Chris Myers is also up there. But if Spiro is calling your game, odds are you stink. Odds are you absolutely stink. Baseball dumb decisions, 2010 ALDS Game 2 versus Rangers putting in Jack Walsh and Michael Young, 7 ERA. I've got some good dumb decisions and videos for baseball coming up, for sure. Hello from Albuquerque. I've been a fan of your content since I discovered 2 years ago. Thank you so much. Favorite sports outside of football? I love watching soccer, basketball, baseball, and to play, I love playing golf. I love playing golf and watching it. Let's see. Is Iron Eagle top tier? Absolutely. Iron Eagle, I think. Look, I love Jim Nance, but I think Iron Eagle is the best announcer on CBS, and I'm so happy that he's going to take over for March Madness once Nance retires after this tournament. Have I thought about making a video on the NFL on demand? Yes. That is a video I've been thinking about for a while. It's just a matter of finding the footage and finding the history of it. But that is a video. I've thought about that. I've thought about NFL on TNT. I've thought about NFL Sunday ticket history. I've thought about a lot of history of broadcasting videos on weird stuff, and Dumont is definitely on there. What about NFL dumb decisions? Bears coach Dave Wannstedt had a few in Chicago. Yes, he did. He was a very, very weird coach. I did some Wannstedt videos too before. Do I watch Yellowstone? I do not. I haven't had a whole lot of time to watch TV. But I guess I'll have some free time now. Not that I'm going to stop working or anything or work any less hard, but I'll have some more time to adjust my schedule like I can. Question about the Seahawks. What's your favorite Seahawks player of all time and why? Easy for me. Sean Alexander. Sean Alexander. He was a guy I loved watching growing up. One of the main reasons I got into football. Watching him in 2005 break the touchdown record like that and just go off every single week. Sean Alexander. He had the best 5-year peak of any running back of all time. And I think he should absolutely be in the Hall of Fame. If we're letting guys like Tony Baselli and Terrell Davison and Gale Sayers in who had great peaks but short careers, Sean Alexander absolutely fits that bill. He should be in. Congrats with your law school graduation. Thank you so much, Samuel. Thank you so much. How about an art video or Arch Lister video? Yeah, I talked about him in previous videos. I think someone did a video on him. It might have been NFL top 10. It might have been someone else did a video. But if I can find an angle for him, because his career was fascinating with how bad it was. Favorite interconference rivalry? I mean, Steelers-Cowboys is a classic. Steelers-Cowboys, it's such a good uniform matchup, and there's so much bad blood between them. And then obviously Jets-Giants, any rivalries in state, Cowboys-Texans, Ravens-Commanders, any rivalries like that are always fun. But Steelers-Cowboys is the quintessential one. My all-time favorite video of yours is the Bengals-Bills playoff game where a fan brought a gun into the stadium. And then another fan robbed $10,000 worth of concessions. That was a crazy one. I was researching that one while I was in the middle of my contracts law class, not contract law, the constitutional law. I was researching that one while I was in class. It was actually while I hit 1,000 subs. It was the moment I hit 1,000 subs. I was researching that video. That was a fun one to put together. They really buried the lead on that one. My favorite thing is when these newspaper articles from the 70s and the 80s completely bury the lead on everything. I think my favorite burying the lead article by far. There was one article with where they buried the lead so badly. It was Lions-Bears 1970 when Hughes died in the middle of the game. And that was like the third sentence. They talked about the outcome of the game and like Bobby Douglas's stats. And they're like, oh yeah, by the way, a Lions player died during this game. I'm like, that should be the lead in. That should be what you lead with. There was another one that I saw the other day. I posted on my Twitter. It was for a Dolphins-Bengals game on Monday Night Football. Here's the article. Here's how it started off. Backup quarterback Don Strock facing a return to the bench with a return of Bob Greasy threw 2 scoring passes Monday night, leading the Miami Dolphins to a 21-0 victory over the winless Cincinnati Bengals and a first-place tie in the AFC Eastern Division. Moments before kickoff, a man armed with a .44 Magnum revolver was found sitting on the Miami bench. Like, lead with that. Like, that's the story. Anyone wants to read the article. Like, no, that's the lead-in. That's what you lead with. Any possible Syracuse video ideas? I definitely thought about Syracuse videos. I definitely thought about them. I've been to the Carrier Dome before, or whatever they call it now. Been to Syracuse many times in my life. Greetings from the Philippines. Wow, all the way from the Philippines. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hooker will be drafted before the 5th round. I think so. I think easily he'll get drafted before the 5th round. Stock footage introducing dumb decisions in baseball might be Grady Little leaving Pedro in or Phil Garner pitching a Pujols. It'll probably be just managers on the mound. The stock footage will be managers on the mound. I'll do that. I like your O2 Broncos Niners broadcasting video. Thank you so much. That was another fun broadcasting bit to put together. That people were complaining about that, even though Fox had no say in that. Really random, but the Liberty Mutual insurance commercials are cringe. They're better than they used to be. If you think they're cringe, they're better than they were 5 years ago. January 2nd is my 31st birthday. Happy birthday. And Bills play the Bengals on Monday night. That is a great game. A great game. Hot take, Pats will never be the same dynasty team for a long period of time. I'm not sure that's a hot take. I think that's pretty safe to say, especially watching Matt Jones. I'd love to see a video on the 1932 NFL Championship. Yeah, if I could find the footage, I would love to do a video on that. But obviously, finding footage is tough. I discovered your channel a couple weeks ago. I enjoy your content. Thank you so much. Do you like baseball or just football? Funny you should say that. Baseball channel is coming in February 2023. I love baseball. I'm a season ticket holder for baseball. We will have baseball content in 2023 on a separate channel. Have I ever been to a Final Four? I have not. I've been to the tournament before. I've been to some round of 64 games or first round games. I went to the Sweet 16 back in 2013 in Dallas. I was visiting some cousins of mine down in Texas. and it was the same time that Florida played Florida Gulf Coast and Kansas played Michigan. So I was at Cowboys Stadium for that game. Never been to a Final Four. When it comes to Phoenix, though, I might go. Thoughts on Hooker? I mean, obviously the injury is a concern. The age is a bit of a concern, but he throws a beautiful deep ball, a beautiful spiral. Had to do more diving in on the film, but he'll go before the 5th round. Easily. Adopting a championship team and watching them go up to the Prem was a great decision, I won't lie. I did that with Brighton, and watching their rise has been fun. Yeah, I knew when I was going to root for a Premier League team that I didn't want to root for a Big Six team. I wanted to root for a team that wasn't expected to win all the time. I wanted to root for a team where I could enjoy the highs and not expect. Not that I don't want to win, but I don't want to just buy my way into winning all the time. That's not fun. It's not the same. Like Derby County, because I played them a lot in FIFA. Great logo. Great logo for the Rose. Okay, there are a lot of questions. James Franklin, dumb decisions when I might do a 4th and 5 one. Thank you for the $2. Yee Baba Man. Thank you so much for the $2 there. All right. Bison going to Frisco. Yeah, they did come back against the Carnivore. Thank you so much for the $2 again, Jacob Tobin. Thank you so much. All right, let's see what other questions I can get to. Because we've been on for over 2.5 hours at this point. This has been a crazy long stream, and I have to work on the video for the that's coming out tomorrow. So let's just go rapid fire on whatever I can do here. Your opinion on who will reach the conference championship? Buffalo, KC, and let's go in the NFC. Philly, Dallas. Let's go Philly, Dallas. Thoughts on Zion's dunk on up double digits against Phoenix? No problem with it. Look, Suns did the same thing when they were up by 35 in Game 5 against the Mavericks. So can't be hypocritical there. Love your vids, especially the worst game in Monday football history. That was a fun one to do. That was on my list for a while, for over 2 years. And I was like, let's save it for Colts Cowboys. And that was the right call. How long does research take for a video typically? Depends. Sometimes I find the stuff right away. Sometimes it takes a bit. Usually a couple hours to get all the newspaper articles and put everything together, put everything in order. Question from the start of the channel to now: what do you feel is the best of your channel? What videos idea do you want to try during an off season? One idea that I really want to implement, or try at least, is videos on. I want to do a series of videos on players that ended their careers in weird places, like Franco Harris's 1 year with the Seahawks, or Tony Dorsett's time with the Broncos. I want to do a series like that. I feel like that could be cool. Let's see. Urban Meyer's and Mike Goldberg of NFL coaches. You're not wrong there. Terry Glenn's exit from the Patriots after catching Tom Brady's first career touchdown pass. Yeah, Glenn said some interesting stories. I might do a video on that. Let's see. Just want to say that even though I don't always watch your content, the stuff of yours I've seen is high quality and you deserve all the success in the world. Keep doing what you're doing, man. Thank you so much. Been watching you for a few months. Happy for you. Thank you so much. Really means a lot. Colts own the Jags. Not in Jacksonville, they don't. Not in Jacksonville. Thoughts on the Bucko Bruce logo? I mean, it's iconic. It's a nice throwback. They don't switch to that at full time. There's a reason they got rid of it. Can I do a collab with Grossi on his series Jaguars fan reaction? I would love to do that. Do I have an email address that we can suggest topics? Yes, I get a lot of emails all the time. I'll put that in the chat right now. Do I have a favorite college football team? I'll give you a hint. It's the name in it's the team in my username. It's Florida. With your full-time stats on YouTube, what kind of videos will warrant utilization of your law degree? It's more that the law degree helps with copyright stuff that I can fire off like if someone just like makes a copyright claim on a video, I can fire off something immediately and know what I'm doing and feel confident that I will win and I know the process. In terms of knowledge, there's going to be some stuff where nothing really changes. It's more of just like if you saw the Eagles to Phoenix video, I talked about how in that video the Eagles were trying to get out of the contract, and I was talking about maybe how they could get out of it, what they might have been arguing. So maybe that. How many years do we have to deal with very super washed up Al Michaels? I think 2 more years. I think 2 more. Now they're doing this full time. Have you considered doing some longer form videos? Yes. Yes. Eventually, I would love to be in a spot where I could not take days off, but do videos every other day. And the videos that come out are like 30, 40 minutes, long form videos where I can't put them together in a day, but I can put them together in 2 or 3 days. I want to do one on the history of Sunday Ticket. Browns leaving Cleveland, probably couldn't do a video because of Football Life did a video, so I'm not sure there's anything I can add to that. Great Football Life documentary, by the way. But videos like that, I would love, like broadcasting videos, NFL and TNT, Dennis Miller experiment. That's on my bucket list for a while. I would love to do a Dennis Miller video. What's the baseball video about? Oh, it's a whole channel. It's a whole channel. It's a whole channel. Do I consider the Lakers as the biggest rival for the Suns? Yes, absolutely. Yes. And the energy in the building when the Suns played the Lakers in Game 5 and the Suns were up by like 30 at the half, I've never seen an arena erupt like that in my life. That was fun. Where do I typically go to find footage of older games? YouTube is a great resource to find older games. A lot of stuff is right there on YouTube. And in terms of research, newspapers.com. If you want a subscription to that, that is some of the best money you can spend. Newspapers.com is great. Favorite NFL stadium I've been to? SoFi. No close second. SoFi is a whole nother experience. SoFi is absolutely incredible. If you get a chance to go to SoFi, do it. It's really, really cool. As a frequent JG9 live viewer, the Mike Goldberg video did not disappoint. Thank you so much. Yeah, that was a fun one. I really didn't want to do that one wrong because I know a lot of people have been waiting for that one for a long time, and I'm glad you guys loved it. As a Vikings fan who remembers a lot of the Zimmer era, thank God I blocked the Goldberg disaster class out of my memory. Yes. Is there any one sport that you want to discuss with a lot of quirky history that isn't one of the major American sports? Olympic stuff, Olympic videos, like some weird stuff that happened at the Olympics. I would love to do that. Soccer is another one. I would love to do a soccer channel at some point. Yeah, Al Michaels was fine last night. Al Michaels, I want to say that the game last week rejuvenated him. And the fact that this game meant something probably helped him a lot. Well, North Central beat Union. Wow, they beat Mount Union. Did not see that coming. Thoughts on Jim Mora at UConn this year? I would have given him Coach of the Year. I really would have. That program had no expectations. He turned them into a bowl team from nothing. Good for him. Good for him. Buck's situation in 2023, it's rough. It depends what they do with bowls because I don't like him as head coach. Will I do a video on Metcalf's 2-punt return touchdown game against the Steelers in 93? Thought about it. Definitely thought about it. There's a lot of stuff I have in the vault that I really want to get to, and that's one of them. That is one of them. 09 Titans, I think they were 0-6. I don't think they're just 1-6. I think they were 0-6. 2010 Chargers is the most iffy team ever. Yeah, horrible special teams. I think SB Nation or Secret Base Net did a video on that. Where do I see the Jaguars in 5 to 10 years realistically? Honestly, because we have a quarterback, we have Trevor, and he's going to be here for a long, long time if he keeps playing like this. I think we can be a formidable team. I really do. I don't see us being super, super bad at any point in the near future. Look, we got Trevor. We got the biggest piece. So I think we're okay for a bit. Favorite Ravens video I've done so far? Definitely the one that you mentioned, the PSI Net video with the horrible, horrible idea, the subscription service that was such a horrible value, horrible bang for your buck. That was laughable. When I found out how much it cost, I was like, okay, that's the video. That is so, so bad. I also love the Ravens NFC East video. That was a really, really weird one to put together because I didn't know that at first. Congrats on everything. Oh, hey, Peter. Hey, thank you so much, Peter. Thank you so much. It means a lot. Thank you. Thank you for always being there. Opinion on the Niners being NFC West champions. I mean, they have a great defense, great playmakers. The division is kind of a dumpster fire this year. I mean, they're the best team by far. Good for them. Good for them. Yeah, Old Navy's close second behind BK. At least the BK ones don't, or the Old Navy ones don't get stuck in your head. Super Bowl commercial I hated was Puppy Monkey Baby. What the heck was that? I mean, that's the whole point. It's so random that you have to remember it. Dable Coach of the Year? Not anymore. Not anymore. I think right now it's going to be Sirianni. Do I think if Bruce Arians came back to coach the Bucs, it would make a difference? Yes. Yes, because Todd Bowles is just so bad at managing in-game situations. Bruce Arians was not. Long-suffering Jets fan, thank you for all your videos confirming their insanity in the 80s and 90s. Oh, there's so much more where that came from. Congratulations on your new endeavors. Can't wait for more content. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Should we be scared that Burger King will drop an even more annoying commercial on Super Bowl Sunday? I don't think so. I think this is as bad as it gets. I miss the BCS days of college football. I don't, to some extent. I guess I do miss the ranking shows being Sunday night after NFL coverage as the lead-in to Sunday Night Football. So you have the selection show or the ranking shows on Fox, and then you had the Sunday Night Football. I thought that was great. I do miss that. Of the Bills make the Super Bowl, yeah, all the folding tables are going to Phoenix. Favorite golfer of all time? Easy, Tiger. Easy. Tiger is still must-see TV. We'll do a video on Bottlegate where the referees went back to plays. I did a video on that to some extent. KTO did a great video on Bottlegate, so I'm not sure I can add anything that he hasn't said already. Bottlegate, I did a video on the Bottlegate incident from Saints Rams that happened a day later. So if you do want to learn more about that, I do have a video on that. I do talk about Jaguars Browns in that one. Best Eagles coach ever. Ooh, that's tough. That's tough. He didn't win a Super Bowl, but I think Andy Reid. Andy Reid had longevity. He had great success. He didn't win a Super Bowl, but I think Reid is the greatest coach in Eagles history. Do you agree with my opinion that Ole Miss will win the SEC West next year? I mean, I'm never betting against Bama. I'm never betting against Alabama. Favorite era of the NFL? There's something about late 90s. That was really, really cool. There's something about late 90s. In 1977, Vikings-Cowboys, there was a Cowboy fan set on fire. Yes, Vince Scully was on the call for that one. Before moving to Minnesota, the Twins were the Sounders, yes. Your thoughts on the Astros winning the World Series this year? I mean, I think they should have been punished more for the cheating scandal, but I'm happy for Dusty. I'm really happy for Dusty. He deserves it. He was like Andy Reid in the sense that he was one ring away from the Hall of Fame, and now that he's got it, he's a shoo-in. So I would absolutely say I'm happy for the Astros for Dusty. Dumb decisions if you want to be productive, opening up a JG9 playlist and saying YouTube to autoplay. The history of the NFL playlist is like 8 days long. It's got all my long-form history videos in order of when they happened in NFL history. So I group all the 71 videos, the 1972, 73, go on and so forth. So if you want to watch the history of the NFL chronologically, it's 8 days long. Yeah, like Namath with the Rams, United with the Chargers, Simpson with the Niners. That would be the next series I would do. Good luck on the channel. Thank you so much, CB. As a miserable Cardinals fan, what alternative solution is there for them to turn the ship from next year? Are there none? If they fire Cliff, they got a shot. How about a video that explains if Wade Phillips starts fluting in the playoffs, the 99 Jags in the Super Bowl, or just a Music City Miracle never happens? The Music City Miracle never happens. The Jags are in the Super Bowl, and that probably means Tom Coughlin doesn't get fired after 2002, which means he probably wouldn't get the job with the Giants, which means the whole Super Bowl 42 never happens. CBS dumping on the Yankees Red Sox, give a rain delay. That was a fun one. I did that on JG8. That was a fun one. Will the Red Sox or Rays be a better team next year? I think the Rays. I don't know what the Sox are doing. One of my favorite vids of yours is the one where they made computer simulate games for radio. It was the strangest idea I've ever heard. Yeah, when I saw that, I was like, okay, I have to find a way to get the footage for this, make it work. And I was happy I did, because that whole, there's a reason it failed. It just sounded like a horrible idea. Thank you for the $5, Jacob D. Congrats on law school and YouTube full-time. Do you think the Broncos will be able to recover from the Russell Wilson trade? They don't have picks and they don't have cap space. So I don't think so. They don't have the cap space to do it. Your output is insane. Feel free to slow down. I'm not slowing down anytime soon. I know for a fact that I'm going on a cruise in March, so I'm going to backlog some vids and take some time off, but the videos will come out that week for sure. They'll just be scheduled, and I won't be near my laptop or anything like that. I'll have time to recharge. But I love doing this. I love doing this. $5 from Samuel Martinez. Thank you so much. If the Buffalo Bills win the Super Bowl in the near future, I'd not only be happy for the Bills, but I would wish Marv Levy to see his former team win. That would be awesome if Levy could see one before he died. That would be awesome. He deserves it. Bills fans deserve it. That would be a great thing if the Bills can make the Super Bowl and win it. Will I do a video on the downfall of Nebraska Cornhuskers football? I feel like someone did a good video on that already. I did a dumb, or not dumb decisions, but a Scott Frost breakdown video on every onside kick he did and why that was a horrible decision. You should make a channel for miscellaneous sports stories outside of football. That'd be a bit tough just because the algorithm doesn't like necessarily if you mix and mash sports because it's different audiences. But there's a lot of really cool stories I want to tell from other sports, and we want to get to those at some point. Have I ever thought about making a video on Boise State? I mean, I did one on the MPC Computers Bowl with Boston College, but I mean, Boise State's got some good stories. So, yeah, I mean, look, every school has a story if you dig deep enough. It's just a matter of finding the footage. What would happen if Blake Bortles made it to the Super Bowl 52? I don't think anything would have happened. I mean, he got the extension either way. He got the contract extension after making the AFC Championship, so nothing changes there. He still gets cut after 2018 because he was downright terrible, and obviously he was not the reason we made it. I do think if the Jaguars made the Super Bowl that year, they would have won because they dominated. That defense dominated against pocket passers. Nick Foles is a pocket passer. He is not mobile. He cannot move. He is a statue in the pocket. I think the Jaguars would have feasted on him. You met Jim Moore at a pizza place in Yukon. That's awesome. Weird place to meet him, but I met John Gruden at a hotel lobby and then again at a random sports store in Jacksonville. The Ravens online service was hilariously stupid. Yes, it was. The fact that it cost about the same as cable and you got nothing out of it is hysterical. Just dropping in, what are your thoughts on Phil Simms saying Jalen Hurts isn't an MVP candidate? Congrats on all your success. Or Chris Simms saying that. Yeah, I was going to say Phil Simms. I know he's lost a few sets, so he didn't say that. Congrats on your success. Thank you so much. I think he's crazy. I think it's a clear outrage take. And I don't buy the fact that if you take Hurts off, they're still good. I don't buy that. Minshew is overrated. I love Minshew. He's overrated. He was not good in 2020. We're forgetting that he had a noodle arm. We're forgetting he started games off terribly. We're forgetting that Mike Lennon did better back there than he did. We're forgetting that he held on the ball for way too long. Minshew, he is worse than Hurts. Congrats, buddy. I love your channel. Thank you so much. Thank you, and keep up the great work. What do you think about the Seahawks' chances of making the playoffs? Diehard Hawk fan here. Thank you. With the way the Lions are playing right now, I'm not banking on it. I'm not banking on it. Will I attend the Super Bowl this year since it's in Arizona? I do not have $6,000 on me, so no. Plus, like the Super Bowl, like I don't want to go until the Jaguars make it. I don't want to go until they make it. It just I have a cutoff where if it ever gets to that point where okay, if I'm like 50 and they haven't made it, I want to go at least once in my life. But I want my first time to be the Jaguars. Because at the end of the day, Super Bowl is a game. It's a crazy game, but it's a game. And the traffic's going to be insane. I'll be at the pregame festivities, like the stuff that's happening in downtown Phoenix. I'll be at that. I'll go to the events like that, but I'm not going to any. It is a pain to get to Glendale also. It is an absolute pain to get to that stadium. I can't even imagine Super Bowl. It's going to be a nightmare. It's going to be a nightmare. You can't see the quiz kid. Thank you for tuning in, Jeff, man. Thank you. Does a France World Cup win make Mbappe the next Pele? Let's not go that far yet. Mbappe is a great player. The next Pele, I mean, Pele is Pele. Pele is one of a kind. Thanks, JG9. I got to leave and congrats on graduating law school. Praying for your future success here on YouTube and in your future endeavors in life. Thank you so much. Video on the Doug Flutie dropkick. Again, I feel like that's one that people have done videos on talking about, but I mean, that was a crazy moment. I remember watching that one live because CBS showed that game in the area. That was a crazy moment. The Alabama is the second best team in the country in 2022 was one of the worst takes of the year. Most painful sports loss. Whew, man, I have a lot. Jaguars Colts 09, AFC Championship. Jaguars Steelers 2018, losing that one, regular season. Suns Mavs game 7. Most painful sports loss, USA Ghana 2010. Jags Colts 09 is probably my most painful. That was walking back from the stadium after that when Garrard threw that pick, knowing that if we win that game, we probably make the playoffs and a loss gets us out. That one hurt. That one hurt. In 03, Anthony Wright led the Ravens. That comeback game, Ravens Seahawks. The footage of that is very rare. It's very minimal, but I think it exists somewhere. I do want to do a video on that comeback at some point. Do we think the Cowboys will win another Super Bowl? I mean, we have a long time till the heat death of the universe, so it's possible. Look, they're a good team. They're a good team. Wouldn't shock if they won it this year. So many weird Super Bowls I could have been, like Giants, Titans in 08. Yes. That would have been a very weird one. For you, the most painful loss was the Patrick Ewing finger roll. Ooh, going old school there. Yeah. Not old school, but further back than I'm going for my most painful losses. Do the Jags have a plus now with Peterson and Lawrence? I don't see why not. Yes, I don't see why not. A video on the fact that UCF is the only university to play in all 4 divisions of college football. I did not know that. Thank you for the $2, Spartacus. Would like more 1920s to 1950s era videos. I'd love to do more of those too. The problem is research, and the problem is getting the footage. But 50s, I could probably make something work. $2 from Michael Cuomo. Thank you so much. Who wins their Super Bowl? Cardinals or Lions or Browns? I'm guessing who wins it first. I would say who wins it first? I'd probably say Lions. Since I live in New York, did I go to any of the festivities in 2014? Yes. Train wreck. Absolute train wreck. New York did not have a game plan whatsoever. They had no game plan. So when it comes to things like the draft and it comes to things like Super Bowl experience, usually what happens, I know this, like Phoenix are going to hold it in a convention center. What happens is you need a ticket to get in. You get the ticket to get in, and then you walk around and do the festivities and whatnot. Same thing with London when I went in 2013 with International for Jaguars-Niners. You get a ticket to get into a place, and then you enjoy. New York, there was no ticketing system. So what this meant was that they did it in the middle of Times Square, not in a location that was cut off, the middle of Times Square, which means you had people who were just walking through trying to get to where they need to go, and people who were trying to get to Super Bowl stuff all in the same place, in the biggest city in the country. And it was a train wreck. It took me, I kid you not, I remember this vividly. It took me one time 1 hour to walk 2 blocks. 2 blocks. Not even to just do anything in those. 1 hour to walk 2 blocks. It was that chaotic. I was claustrophobic. I felt like I was going to pass out. They had no game plan. New York was an absolute disaster, and they'll never come back. Obviously, because MetLife's not that good of a stadium and they don't have a roof. But if they ever do come back, if they ever build a new stadium and they come back, they need to change a lot because it was a train wreck. $5 from Broski, 89. Thank you so much. Who do you think wins the Super Bowl this year? My pick from the start was the Bills, and I see no reason to change that. I'm going Bills. When do I see LA or San Fran hosting the draft? Okay, this is not a knock on San Fran. I hope they never host the draft. And here's why I say that. It's not a knock on San Fran. The reason why I say that is because the draft most of the time is downtown. Most of the time the draft is held downtown. It's outdoors, it's downtown. And that's the way it should be. It should be downtown in a central location where anyone can watch the things happen. The problem in San Fran is that it's right on the water. It will be freezing. And I know this for a fact because I went to the draft in Cleveland, right on the water, and it was freezing. So I seriously hope they never host. Because you either sacrifice the experience in terms of the location, or you're sacrificing people being freezing. LA I could see, but San Fran, hopefully never. Do I think Denver ever hosts? I think Denver could. Absolutely. I think Denver could. I know they've been bidding for it for a while. I think they absolutely could. Do a video about St. Thomas jump from D3 to the FCS, and after only being in FCS for a year, they won their conference this year. Yeah, Good for them. Weren't they kicked out of their conference because they were too good at one point? Like, that's crazy. Seattle draft, again, same issue with the water, but yeah, same issue with the water. Michael Coleman with $2 again. Thank you so much. Was the Jags' best season 99? Easily 99. I guess the only part that stinks was the fact that we lost 3 times to the Titans. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much of a scam is NFL Plus? Look, I have an NFL Plus subscription just because I use it to download the games. It's better than NFL Game Pass in the sense that it is faster to download games. But holy cow, it is literally just Game Pass. There is nothing on there. NFL Plus, if you are not downloading games and ripping old game footage, there is nothing for you. I'm sorry, there is nothing for you. If you are not watching preseason games or you are not watching, you're not ripping game footage, there's nothing. NFL Plus is a scam entirely. I'm so upset they didn't get it this year. Would have gone for all 3 days if it was. Yeah. Vegas did a great job. I will say Vegas did a phenomenal job. And I'm excited for KC. I was front row at LSU Gym 101. It was cool. That's awesome. That is awesome. That must have been quite the experience. Do I miss Color Rush uniforms or feel that was too much of an epic fail? I mean, Color Rush gave us the mustard Jaguars gold unis, so absolutely not. Absolutely not. I do not miss them at all. Will NFL Plus possibly expand to be like Sunday Ticket? No chance. CBS and Fox would never allow for that. They would never allow for a service that takes away from their ratings. Miami draft. Oh, I could see it. I could absolutely see it. Longhorn Network video when? When the network shuts down, I might have something in the works. When the network officially shuts down, I do want to do a video on that. $5 from BJ Williams. Thank you so much. Most painful loss for you. Rams double overtime loss at Carolina at the height of the greatest show on turf. Yeah, that was that was crazy. Crazy game. Really the game that ended it. It was never the same after that. You won another Chicago draft. They did a great job in 2015. I can't speak for the following year. I was not there that year, but they did a great job in 2015. A great job. New Orleans draft on Bourbon Street. $2 from Eganator. Thank you so much. That would be awesome. That would be awesome. Never been to New Orleans, but I know people that have. They love it. A New Orleans draft would be phenomenal. Chicago was a Super Bowl host. I mean, it's always tough with a cold weather city just because the festivities have to be indoors for the most part. It's always tough. But Chicago would be I mean, if they host it like they did the draft, they do a great job. Obviously, they need the stadium in Arlington Heights, though, because Soldier Field is not up to par and is too low capacity. Do I have any videos of Monroe, Louisiana switch games in the 1990s? I do not right now, but you never know. You never know. Painful loss, Falcons, Vikings, NFC Championship 98. I bet as a Vikings fan, that was the most painful loss ever. Thoughts on that 12-year-old player who looks like a 20-year-old? There's no way he's 12. If he is 12, I mean, that would be insane. He honestly looks like a veteran, an NFL veteran. He does not look 12. I did not look like that at 12. No one looks like that at 12. It looked like the was it Superbad with the I'm 12 or I'm 14? He did not look at all like that. Arena football videos on the horizon. If there are videos of Kurt Warner playing in Iowa, there are. I've done some videos involving arena football. I forget when, but I do remember having arena football footage. So, look, I loved arena football growing up. I don't really follow it anymore because the AFL is dead and the NAL is kind of a joke. The Sharks play, but I used to go to New York Dragons games all the time. That was so much fun. The most painful loss. You want painful loss? Dragons Soul 08 divisional round. That one hurt because that was a nonsense call at the end of that game. He was not in the end zone. Dragons should have won that game. That was a horrible call that sent the Soul to the conference championship. That was the Dragons to win. Horrible call at the end. $5 from Eganator. Thank you so much. My most painful loss, Super Bowl 53, which I'm obviously over, but second most painful was 2018 Apple Cup. Yes, that was bad. Time fans left an OT game early with the Oh, I think I remember that. Was that the aggregate? That I remember that video. Yeah, with the aggregate that it was. Yeah, I remember that one. Yeah. Do I think arena football peaked in the 2000s? Yes. There's no other decade it could have been. That was a stupid playoff system too. A really stupid playoff system. But yeah, arena football, it couldn't have peaked any other decade. That's when it had the TV coverage. That's when the attendance was going crazy. Can you please put a broadcasting in Monroe, Louisiana that wants to switch NFL games? Yeah, if I can find research and footage on that, like I've done some crazy stories on Louisiana switching games and Cowboys Saints and how there's like a rivalry there with who supports what team. But yeah, I would love to do a video on that at some point. Some more at least. Second favorite sport behind football, soccer. Soccer. Love watching soccer. Love watching soccer. Right, let's see if I can, because I know I skipped a lot of questions. Let's see. Favorite commentators are Kevin Harlan, Joe Davis. They're great. Joe Davis is great. Kevin Harlan's great. Underrated guys. Let's see. Great work, man. You are a true historian of the game. Respect, Reed from Portugal. Thank you so much. All the way from Portugal, watching my videos. Thank you so much. Let's see. I hope arena football makes a comeback. I hope so too. It's a fun sport. It's a fun sport. I remember NFL Network showing an Arena Bowl with Jacksonville hosting. Jacksonville never hosted the Arena Bowl. I don't think they did, at least. I know they played in one against Arizona in 2011, but I don't think they've ever hosted the Arena Bowl. But they did have Friday Night NFL Network back in 2009. I watched those, or 2010, all the time. I watched those like crazy. Do I have a favorite MLS or USL team? I do not, although if Phoenix gets an MLS team, I'll root for them. USL, I know Phoenix has the Rising, but I can't really root for them just because they're so far out of the way. And it's a bit of a pain to get to the games. So. Open wide for some soccer. Oh, man. The first 3 minutes of that episode were hysterical. Absolutely hysterical. Should have a spin-off channel covering soccer stories. Yeah, I would love to do that. Copyright's an issue with soccer because it is very, very brutal out there for that. Holds it. Oh, that video. The Simpsons were phenomenal at its peak. So I would like to do a soccer channel that'll probably be next after baseball if I can do it. I just have to figure out, okay, how do I want to do it? Do I want to do American soccer? Do I want to do Premier League? Because I don't want to do just all of soccer because it's so broad and so encompassing. It'd be tough. The Oilers to move to Jacksonville in the 1980s, like just about every team was trying to do. What will your life be like today? I don't know if it'd be any different. I honestly don't know if it'd be any different because or in terms of like, I wouldn't be an Oilers fan because I had no ties to Jacksonville. I just saw them on TV one day and they were my team and they beat the Steelers. So if the Oilers moved to Jacksonville in the 80s, whatever team beat the Steelers in 2005 that I saw on TV probably would have been my team. So I feel like the USA has a bright future in men's soccer. Yes. Great young midfield that's only going to get better. Tim Ream's the only guy that won't be there in 2026 in the starting lineup. Can they make a good run in the World Cup? I don't see why not. I don't see why they can't make the quarters at least. I watched Bob Burgers when it started. I wasn't a huge fan, but I know people say you gotta stick through it. So that's up next for shows I gotta watch. I have seen clips. I have seen the clip of the hilarious scene where someone's learning how to drive and there's only one car in the parking lot and he somehow hits the car. That was a fun one. If Marino got drafted by the Steelers in 83, I think if that happened, we're talking about Chuck Noll as the greatest coach undisputed of all time. Yeah, Tina was the one driving. Yes. Most head-scratching dumb decisions. Oh, man. Joe Judge QB sneak is up there. I think the Bengals Niners 87 is probably the winner. Although the Rams letting the clock run out in the red zone was also up there. The Bengals-Niners 87 was multiple dumb decisions. Just the idea that there's 6 seconds left, you win the game, you have the ball, just run out of the back of the end zone or do anything else but what you did. And then, okay, you made a mistake, but you can still get out of it. You just don't leave Jerry Rice single cover. And they did. And it was so stupid. So stupid. I compiled NFL listings for a legacy multimedia publisher in the 90s and 2000s. That's awesome. Some interesting network affiliates back and forth all the time. Albuquerque always angling for the Bears because of Urlacher. I would love to see that. I would love to see that. That would be fascinating. Do a video about the Jaguars' original first concept logo. I would love to do a video on that one. I love that logo, and if I ever own the Jaguars, the first thing I would do is put MJD in the pride. The second thing I would do is go back to the original uniforms. The third thing I would do is work out a deal to get Jaguar on board with using that as a throwback logo. Would second and goal qualify as an ultimate dumb decision? From the Super 49? No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't agree with it, but who do I think has the greatest rookie season in NFL history, regardless of position? I mean, Randy Moss was great, but the winner for me, easy. Night Train Lane, easy. Rookie season 1952 had 14 picks. That's the winner. Rookie season set the all-time record for interceptions that will never be broken. Night Train Lane, 1952, easy answer for the greatest rookie. Congratulations. Thank you again so much, Charles. Yeah, again, I would love to do some Louisiana Monroe videos. Just a matter of getting time to get there. But I am in contact with someone to help edit the JG8 videos, which means I do I'll have more time to write scripts and record audio and just send it off to someone and they would do it. Ever want to branch out into soccer? I'd love to see you do a piece on Hope Solo. I would love to do something from like the 07 World Cup, that whole controversy there. That would have been nuts. I vaguely remember the first game-winning safety in NFL history. Cowboys Saints 83. I know the player you're talking about. There is footage. I know the player you're talking about. I've thought about doing an in-defense sub or dumb decisions on that. I think in-defense sub. I've thought about doing that. But that technically wasn't the first game-winning safety. I mean, technically, but in terms of like overtime walk-off safety, it was Vikings-Rams 89. But I remember the player talking about because they did win the game on that safety with like 2 minutes left. Greatest rookie season for a quarterback. Greatest rookie season for a quarterback. That's tough. Baker's rookie season was very, very good. Just crazy how much he fell off. But I think I did do a ULM video when they played North Texas. I did a video on that. I hate when Vikings fans attempt to say Randy Moss is the GOAT, Jerry Rice is the GOAT, and that's final. Oh, easily. The gap between Rice and everyone else, the only guy that is in the conversation. Yeah, Roethlisberger and Prescott are up there. I think Roethlisberger probably had the best rookie year just because of how far he took the team. But the thing with Rice, the only person that could be in the discussion is Don Hudson. That's the only one. Do I have any trading cards or sports memorabilia items? Tons. Again, this isn't my regular location. This is my parents' place. I'm there for the holidays. But I have a lot of items that you will see a lot of them in the studio when I get that in April. You will see a lot of them. I have a lot of autograph helmets that I've been very fortunate to get. I have a collection of Super Bowl pennants dating all the way back to Super Bowl 11. Have a lot of them. Best Jags backup quarterback of all time. Jonathan Quinn, Quinn Gray, or Cody Kessler. Okay, definitely not Cody Kessler. He was terrible. Quinn Gray, by far for me. Quinn Gray. That win against the Bucs was iconic. And the win against the Eagles, too. Back in 06. Quinn Gray was a very good third string, second string quarterback. Cody Kessler was terrible. Oh, Greg Cook. Okay. Oh, if we're counting AFL too, Greg Cook is the winner. If we're counting AFL history, Greg Cook is the winner. Yeah, game-winning safety in Bengals Dolphins on Halloween, too. That was Halloween, too. None of them hold a candle to Tanner Lee. Oh, God, don't even remind me of him. The worst quarterback I've ever seen with my own two eyes. Why we drafted him, I don't know. I don't know why we drafted him. Temple getting kicked out of the conference for sucking at football. That'd be a good video topic to do for sure. That'd be a good one to do. Favorite old item I own? Easy one. I have a helmet, a full-size helmet of the lawsuit logo, the Jaguars lawsuit logo from '93. I have a full-size helmet of that. I got it for Christmas last year. And then when I went to the Hall of Fame this year, I got Tony Baselli to sign it. So I have a full-size lawsuit logo, Tony Baselli autographed helmet. That is like the crown jewel of my collection for Jaguar stuff. And yeah, I'm going to, if the Jaguars make it, I'm going to the Super Bowl if the Jaguars make it. But that's a long ways away. We still got to win the division first. And that is about 20-25% chance of happening. St. Louis Stallions almost happened twice. Yeah, I'm kind of shocked that St. Louis did not get the team over Jacksonville. I was very shocked. Most Vikings fans were not alive the last time they were in the Super Bowl, 1977. Yeah, it's been a while. And they made it to a lot of they've been to a lot of conference championships. Obviously, nothing. Do I think the Jags make a Super Bowl in my lifetime? And we have Trevor Lawrence now, so it's not out of the realm of possibility. I wouldn't have said that a year ago with Urban Meyer when things were terrible. Look, I'm 25. If they don't make it in my lifetime, either we are the worst team ever or I died horribly young. You saw a Baselli jersey in Australia. Wow, that's awesome. Would not expect to see one there. It'd be great if you could have a video showing things from your collection. Yes. When I get the studio, I'll do like a behind-the-scenes tour. I'll definitely do a behind-the-scenes tour. Oh, yeah, Al Baker, 1978. That was another great season. Another great season. Al Baker, I feel like if sacks were official back then, he'd be in the Hall of Fame by now. His numbers were so good, and he was such a dominant player early on. Al Baker would be in the Hall of Fame if sacks were official back then, and I really hope the committee gives him a second look. How about doing a video on the first Ravens win against the Jags in 2000? I did a video on that. I did a video on that game. I can post it in the I'm posting it in here. I did a video on that game. Obviously, that was the Jimmy Smith game where he went off, but there was also a player on the it's Chris Howard, who made his first start, and it was so bad that he was cut immediately after. You should do a video about the NFL's biggest one-game wonders. I've done videos on those before. Let's see. I did one on the Giants. Floyd Eddings, who in his first game ever had 5 receptions for 148 yards, and then did nothing else the rest of the year. Yeah, Pro Football Reference gave him the record. They unofficially gave him the record, but the NFL is not recognizing it. So the first link I put in is the Jaguars-Ravens video. The second one is the Floyd Eddings one-game wonder video. What's another one-game wonder? I've done the player from the 1987 strike who had 133 yards in his debut and then 268 the rest of the way. The video to that is here. 98 Vikings, best team in the Super Bowl era to not make the Super Bowl, or the 76 Steelers, or another. 76 Steelers has the best defense, but 98 Vikings, yeah, the best team, easily for me. Easily. Do I think the 14 sack game that I did a video on is real? I do not think so. I do not think it is real. I think in all likelihood he hit the quarterback 14 times. I could have seen that. But 14 sacks, I don't think is real. I think that is an urban legend. I'm glad I did a video on it. I got a Patreon request video to do that on. But I don't think it's real. Chris Borland video. He 1 year, great linebacker, and then done. Definitely want to do a video at some point on that. Suicide team went 15-1, didn't make a Super Bowl, I think. Yeah, 04. Yeah, Baker was such a good player. 56 and a half sacks first 3 years, as you said. I really think if sacks were official, he'd be in. He'd absolutely be in the Hall of Fame. Absolutely. I want the Rams and Seahawks to both go back to retros full time so we can see that uniform matchup twice a year. I mean, that would be a nice uniform matchup. The Seahawks are going back to their retros. They are going back to their retros for one game a year next year. That's their throwback. I see the Jags winning the AFC South next season. I think so too. I'm not usually optimistic about this team, but I think this was a changing of the guard. I really do. This felt like a changing of the guard when we beat the Titans on Sunday. Because the Titans don't really have a quarterback. They're kind of in shambles right now. They're kind of in disarray. Jags are the only team pointing upwards in that division. Granted, there was nowhere to go but up, but are there any other old NFL records like the 14 sack game that you think aren't real? Off the top of my head, no. Off the top of my head, no. Like the 14 sack game, I didn't know about that until about 2 months ago. So, or whenever I did the video on it. Off the top of my head, I think every other NFL record's pretty legit. Although the video I did on Bobby Joe Conrad was a fun one to do, where I talked about how he thought he didn't get the record, and turns out there was a miscalculation, and he actually did get the record, and he had no idea about it. I thought that was a fun video. A video about Lomas Brown of the Lions guaranteeing a win over the Eagles in the 95 playoffs. Lions lost 58-37. Funny story about that. Funny story. That was actually a Patreon request from a guy in the top tier this month. So you will see that video sometime in the next week. So you will get your wish. That was a Patreon request video. And I was like, okay, I'm definitely doing this one. So yeah, sometime in the next week, Eagles-Lions video from 95 with a guarantee. Best NHL logo of all time, Pete kind of stole my thunder, is the Whalers. The use of the empty space is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Hartford Whalers had an iconic logo. Iconic logo. All right, I've been on for over 3.5 hours at this point. Holy cow. All right, it is 11:20 by May. It is, best and worst NFL logo. Worst NFL logo, the Broncos logo back in the day, like the 60s, was really, really bad. Like the first logos they had were pretty bad. Best logo, I mean, the star is iconic. The star is absolutely iconic. Worst logo, if it happened, would have been the 49ers when they tried to change their logo in the late 80s or in the early 90s when they tried to change their logo. Thank God that didn't materialize. The Chargers also, which was just a ripoff of the Tampa Bay Lightning, that would have also been phenomenal. Yeah, I want to do some more NFL videos from pre-1960s. I definitely want to do that, but just a matter of finding the footage. Video of Chris Carter's comeback with the 0-2 Dolphins. Oh yeah, Titans definitely need to change. Titans need to change. They're so outdated. They don't really have a sense of identity. The problem is that I said this to a friend of mine who's a Titans fan. Look, your uniforms are Titan blue. What is Titan blue? You have 3 different shades of blue on your uniform. Like, what's Titan blue? You have so many different shades of blue. I don't know what that is. Which one's Titan blue? Like I know what it is, but to an average NFL fan, it's terrible. It's terrible. Chris Carter's return to the Dolphins. I talked about that somewhat. How he almost joined the Rams that offseason. Almost joined the Rams. So that the video for that is there. Texans need to change. I mean, their logo is fine. Titans did a bad job building the same. Yeah, it's falling apart, but I mean, they're getting a new stadium soon, so that'll be nice. Because that new stadium is going to host a lot of events like Final Fours and Super Bowls. Because that city's built for it. They just need the stadium. Yeah, Nissan Stadium, it's built very much like TIAA Bank Field. Titans need to work something out, so Houston can use the Oilers unions. I completely agree. Those unions are too good to not have used. Crazy that sacks weren't official until 1982. Yeah, completely agreed. Completely agreed. What quarterback do we see having the best chance to break Norvan Brocklin's single game passing record? Probably Burrow. Probably Burrow. We do a video on Joe Buck making a stupid comment on the Chiefs Chargers game last year. Maybe. We'll see. NFL teams that will get a new logo soon, in your opinion. Let's see. I'm not sure there's going to be anybody in the near future. Maybe the Commanders, when they get a new owner, they could rebrand again and have a better logo. Other than that, I'm not sure there's going to be any teams changing their logos. Maybe the Cardinals. Cardinals logo is a bit old and not great. 1 to 10 rank FedEx Field. I've never been, but the stadium falls apart, so I'm guessing it's a 1. Is TIAA Bank Field also the same the worst stadium to host the Super Bowl? I don't think so. Look, you've had stadiums hold Super Bowls that were not made for it. You had the Rose Bowl with its parking issues. You had Super Bowl 9 held at Tulane Stadium, which was supposed to be demolished by this point. It was supposed to be at the Superdome. Tulane was not supposed to host the game. Rice Stadium was pretty bad. Yeah, Tulane Stadium will always be the worst because that was never meant to host. And look, as much as I love Cowboys Stadium, at the very least, Alltel Stadium didn't have issues with the seats. All the seats were safe. All the seats were able to be used. First NFL game I went to, Cowboys, Jaguars, 2006, week 1. Jaguars 24-17. The national game on Fox. Got Fox's number one crew. Commanders can't switch for another 5 years, can't switch more than once every 5 years. There is an exception to that. There is an exception. If you get a new owner, you can switch. There is an exception if you get a new owner. So that's why I think so. Because the Jaguars switched their uniforms in 2009 and they switched in 2013 because we got a new owner. So the worst NFL stadium ever. Man, from everything I've read, Kezar Stadium, where San Fran used to play, was pretty bad. Yale Bowl, but that was temporary. That was temporary. I'm not sure I can count that. Yale Bowl was temporary for the Giants for a year and a half. Yeah, the vet, was it that bad, or was it just a cookie cutter stadium like every other stadium in the 70s? Aloha Stadium's awful, but I mean, they didn't host a team; they hosted the Pro Bowl, so I'm not sure. Like the vet was no different than Riverfront or Three Rivers or Busch or any of those stadiums, so I can't really say that was the worst. The turf was awful, I'll give you that, but in terms of like I did a video on the turf from Eagles game in '98, I want to say. But I mean, I'm not saying it was good, but it was no different than every other stadium in the 70s. I'm trying to think, the worst stadium ever. Kezar was pretty bad. Kezar was pretty bad. TCF Stadium, Bank Stadium in Minneapolis was the best temporary stadium. Yeah, that seemed to do a pretty good job. I didn't see any complaints about that. Foxborough Stadium was awful. Yes, I agree. I completely agree with that. But I would probably have to say, I mean, Kezar was really bad. Really bad. Ask Wendell Davis and both his ACLs about the vet turf. Oh, no, the vet turf was terrible. Don't get me wrong. The vet turf was absolutely terrible. The 1970 NFC Championship, complete disaster. Complete disaster. Do a video on the last kicker to wear a one-bar helmet. Thought about that. I definitely thought about that. All right, it is 11:26. It's 3.5 hours. Yeah, Kezar's still around, but it's not the same. It's not the same. Best NBA arena. I mean, I haven't been to too many NBA arenas. I like Footprint Center. The food at Footprint's amazing. The Garden's obviously iconic, but I've never seen an NBA game there. I've been to Spectrum Center in Charlotte. That's great. I haven't really been to any bad NBA arenas. Barclays is great. The Clippers arena is going to be insane. I will say that. The Clippers one. Just saw footage of Foxborough on today's video. Amazing how small it was. Yeah, it very small stadium. Very small, relatively speaking. It did not look like an NFL stadium. Worst and best QB performances of the Super Bowl era. Best was probably, I mean, Manning in 2013 opening against the Ravens was great. The worst, anything Kim McQuilkin did. Anything Kim McQuilkin. Best MLB stadium I've been to is Camden Yards. Camden Yards is amazing. If you ever get a chance to go to that. I've never been to Wrigley. I've never been to Fenway. I finally won a fantasy football league after 24 years of trying. Congratulations. Team name was 39.6. Nice. I've never been to Petco, but I've seen the outside of it. Gorgeous stadium from the outside, at least. Never seen the inside, but of the ones I've been to, easily Camden Yards. All right, it is 11:30. I have to work on the video that's going to come out tomorrow and the college video that will come out later today. But thoughts on the Pelicans? I mean, Pelicans, I said they were a top 4 team at the start of the year. They're crushing it right now. So much fun to watch. What kind of theme are the videos going to be on the new baseball channel when it drops that February? Broadcasting, player trade videos. It's going to be like a combination of JG9 and JG8. I'll put it that way. But it depends on depends on everything that's going to happen. Depends on everything that I find. Because I know some stories, but after that, whatever my research takes me, it'll take me there. All right, so I'm going to call it there. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. This was so much fun to do. Live stream on YouTube, 3.5 hours. Did not think I'd be on this long. But, why did I choose number 9? Lucky number. David Garrard, lucky number. So, thank you guys for tuning in. This has been awesome. I will see you guys on Sunday night on Twitch after. So, we're not doing it on YouTube. We're going to do it on Twitch afterwards. Although I might do it on no, we're going to do it on Twitch. I might move to YouTube at some point, but when I get the studio. For the rest of the year, we're going to do on Twitch. So Twitch, Sunday night, after the game is done, the Sunday football game is done, I'll be on there. And I'll also be on Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern for our jackpot game. We're going to do $300 we're going to give away. It's going to be awesome. Be sure to tune in Sunday night because I'm going to reveal what mini games we're going to play. So we're going to do that. And then Wednesday night, we're going to play trivia on Twitch at 9 p.m. for $300. If you want early access to NFL videos, go to patreon.com/JG9. And we got a lot of new patrons lately. Thank you so much for all the support. And again, thank you guys so much for all of this. This would not be possible without all of you guys and all your support. The fact that I can do this full time is insane. It's all thanks to you guys. So thank you so much for tuning in for the celebratory stream. Until next time, this is JG9 signing off. Have a great rest of your night, everyone, and take care.